And we are going. I was going to get right into it, but I probably should introduce what's going on because there's probably people watching this for the first time. How's everybody doing? My name is Eric. I will let the other person introduce himself in a minute. We've been doing this for, I think, like past 2, 3 years, so we just wrap up 2024. Primarily what's going on in music, but also just things that we want to talk about that happened in 2024. I will let the elitist asshole on the other line introduce himself. Who do we have?
What's going on? My name is Alphonse. I don't know. I don't like introducing myself like that. But nah, me and Eric were just talking about. He was talking about my New York elitism starting the show in our conversations, and so, but I was telling him I have the only places in the South I've really been. I've been to I've been to different parts of Florida. I've been to like Orlando. I've been to like South Florida. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Austin, Texas, which is not really like that's not really like yeah. But Atlanta and like Orlando are like this real like south places I've been.
Shout out when I think of Orlando, I usually think about Golden Boy got a bar where he pronounced it Orlando. He pronounced and this is funny because you said I pay attention to how people say things, but he pronounced Orlando like Orlando, and that's a country ass way to say that. But if people in the comments watching, do you guys think New York is an elitist like place? Because you guys like are pretentious. I was telling him that when they think people from the South are dumb because when they impersonate somebody from the South, it's with a certain voice and it's always like you're like, I want my guns and you ain't gonna take them from me. It's
Like the
always
foghorn, leghorn, like type shit.
pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So, if people in the comments agree or disagree, please let me know because I've always felt that and, maybe I'm tripping. But I will say, what you about to say?
Who should people impersonate if they're gonna do a southern accent?
I mean, you
Who's a
could you could do the Texas accent. That's cool, but it's the content with what you're saying. It's never anything intelligent. It's always, like I want to eat some. I want to eat some ham hogs or something like just stupid. And it's like, all right, that's what we're gonna do. So,
some gator bites?
bro, in Florida, bro, I think people think we eat gator way more than we do. Like, yeah, people might eat it, but you know where they really be eating gator at? Louisiana. That's where they really eat gator at.
Like the Cajuns and shit.
Like, nigga, I know Mosquito probably done. That boy done probably ingested 12 feet of alligator in his life.
I feel like whenever like some like hip chef from like Florida comes to New York, let's say they come to Bed-Stuy or something, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna show off Florida cuisine." They're always doing something like that, like some like gator or something like that.
I wouldn't say that's like. I don't know what would be quote unquote Florida. I mean, I guess because that's unique to Florida because we got alligators or whatever. But like, I don't know. When I think of like a cuisine that's like exclusive to a place, South Carolina, them niggas eat raccoon, like legitimately.
I bet like somebody from South Carolina is probably like, "We don't actually eat
They
that."
legitimately do eat raccoon. There's this battle rapper. I remember this is how I know they eat raccoon for a multitude of reasons, but this was with like, oh, these niggas love raccoon. Battle rapper named Swamp. That nigga, he said like in a bar that he was eating coot noot or something. And they was like, what is coot noot? He was like, well, that raccoon. So the nigga Tay Rock battled Swamp in South Carolina, and he had a bar dissing him for eating raccoon. When I mean the crowd booed this nigga for like 5 minutes, they could not get the crowd for stop booing this nigga because he dissed him for eating raccoon. Like they was personally offended. Like nigga, we all eat raccoon, and I know way too many niggas do it. He do it. It's this nigga named Bernard who you don't probably seen on social media. He be cooking stuff outside in the grease, and he be like,
Oh yeah,
that's the bro. That nigga so country. That nigga is the epitome of country. He be cooking raccoon. The nigga that play football, Xavier Leggett for the Panthers, they asked that nigga what he was gonna eat for Thanksgiving. He said, "Hey man, I'm gonna eat some coons." He said my cousin just undressed them. They like
I've been
raccoon.
thinking he's playing it up, but
No,
maybe he's
bro.
not.
No, bro. That's Xavier Leggett, bro. That's a South Carolina nigga. Them niggas are country, bro. Like you go to, I bet you go to like a real South Carolina house and you like, hey, what y'all making today? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got some coon, but whoever the father and the man of the house, that boy might go and hunt down a raccoon for you, man. Like they really like raccoon out there. Would you eat raccoon?
I mean, I probably wouldn't eat. That shit looks nasty.
You know coon? Have you ever had frog legs?
I never had frog legs. I never had none of that like real South shit. I was at like I was at some diner in like New York, and they asked me if I want grits, and I was like, bro, I don't know nothing about that. So I'm telling you, bro, it's real, just like Caribbean shit.
Okay, so once again, yesterday, for the first time, I found out that Alphonse was Haitian. Hey, I know I'm the last nigga on earth that probably realized that. Just not even putting his name together. Like, Alphonse Pierre does sound like a nigga from, like, the French Revolution or something. Or the Haiti, you know what I'm saying? That's like a nigga that, like, revolted against slavery or something in Haiti. Like, I should have been known that, bruh. That was me. But you've never had grits?
Never had grits before.
So you've never had cheese grits?
I never had cheese grits. That sounds like a lot.
Okay. So before we get off of this, what you about to say?
I would choose some like home fries over grits, but I never had them, so I can't even speak on them. Like I really just grew up eating like Haitian and like Jamaican food, basically.
Okay, so before we get off of this, if is there any Southern style food that you have not had that you would try that you're like, you know what, it looks interesting, like I actually try to get out of try.
I feel like real like Cajun food would be like appealing to me. I feel like I've had like little taste of it, like some like little po' boy or something like that, but like actual Cajun food, you know.
So my cameraman, who, you know what, F it, I'm gonna call Trayvon. My cameraman told me this year that he's never had soul food. He's Jamaican, and it blew my mind.
But he's from Jacksonville too, right?
Chicago, but his people are Jamaican.
Yeah, I feel like Chicago has that like direct South connection.
They do. But
I feel like that's even weirder for him.
With this nigga, never had soul food. Have you ever had collard greens?
I had collard greens before.
How was that?
It was alright. It was kind of overrated. I prefer some okra or something like that. But like the Haitian okra they put in like the stew. You get the stew, the koden, the turkey.
So real quick, Trayvon, I'm recording a video right now, and the gentleman I have right now is a Haitian man, and never really had. He kind of on the same boat with you. Kind of grew up saying eat Jamaican food, Haitian food. You know what I'm saying? Kind of out the loop on like Southern style black food. And he from New York, so just not in the loop at all. So from a uncultured man. I was gonna call both of y'all uncultured. I'm not gonna do that. But from a non-cultured Black American stance to another nigga who kind of out the loop. Just any words, yeah. I just kind of want to introduce y'all niggas. You feel me, man? Trayvon, Alphonse, Trayvon. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to kind of introduce y'all niggas, man.
What's good? I was saying it's worse because you're from Chicago, and Chicago has that direct connection. So it's not really on me. It's on you.
Oh wow, he put it on you.
Wait, I'm lost. Like, what we talking about Southern food? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's saying Chicago got the Southern connection, so you should already be eating Southern food.
Nah, man. The only thing they really eat is grits, to be honest. Outside of that, it's like macaroni and cheese, but it's not smoked rib. Well, it is smoked rib. It's not. What's the good thing to put out?
Collard greens.
Collard greens,
Hey,
bones,
you know what this nigga said he never had? He said he never had grits before.
I don't eat grits.
But you had it before, right?
Yeah, when I moved out here.
Okay, so hey, man, you know what I'm saying? So I'll leave y'all with this now, and I'll let you go, Trayvon. If you had to suggest him to try one thing that you had from that was like Southern food that you know what I'm saying, you never really, you know what I'm saying, that you actually liked, what would you tell him to try?
Smothered turkey wings. Why? Outside of that, I don't know.
That's just like turkey and like smothered in gravy, right?
Yeah. Macaroni. I mean, obviously, Southern macaroni and cheese is different than up north macaroni and cheese, and we ain't got no damn Gouda in it, or any of them other white cheddars that just smell funny. With down south, it's all yellow, sharp cheddar, all that.
That's the thing about the mac and cheese cooking videos you see online. There be so much cheese in them, bro. They be making like that sauce.
Yeah, the roux. Not the whole, I went back up to Chicago, early this year? The macaroni and cheese up there is like, it's cream with a side of noodles.
It sounds disgusting. All right. So, Alphonse, let's pitch it back to you. What is something that's Haitian that we've probably not have tried that we should try?
I mean, just get like some fried goat or something like that. You know, some fried goat, some rice and peas. You good?
No. Hey, and not to dox this nigga, but I was about to say, speaking of food, hey, my cameraman famous, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You probably seen this thing before. Him and his girlfriend be okay. He shaking his head. He won't be saying it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you can say it. Go ahead.
They be reviewing food on the internet, man. They got like 100,000 followers, man. So you probably done seen this thing before, man. It's a big black nigga with a small Asian woman. So,
All right.
you know what I'm saying? Check out for that, but.
That's a mad direct way to put it. Is that the name of their channel?
Yeah, that's the name of the channel. Small, big black nigga, small Asian woman. That's the name of the channel. Wait, do you want me to tag the channel? You want me to plug the channel?
Yeah, go for it.
Tag along with us, right?
Tag along with us for 2 S's at the end.
Tag along with us for 2 S's at the end. And them boys just hit 100,000, man. So shout out to them guys. But I'll let you go. We finna wrap up 2024. Any words for your? I mean, I guess Haiti's not Caribbean, right? Haiti is what, like. Okay, y'all don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. Y'all, both of y'all niggas make the same exact face. Only reason I said that is because you said, I grew up eating mad Caribbean food. So I was like, wait, where? I don't even know where Haiti's at on the map. I ain't gonna lie. If you told me a map and told me the point where Haiti's at, I couldn't tell you.
You ain't calling me uncultured.
Hey, man. How many niggas watching this could point out Haiti on the map? If you could point out Haiti on the map, I'll send you $1,000 if you're not Haitian.
Yeah, I gotta check the demographics on
How about this? Do you think what other country is close to Haiti? Don't answer that.
What other countries? I'm breaking up. I can't hear you. I'm breaking up. All right, we lost Trayvon. Sorry, guys. Guess we'll figure it out next year when we do it. But all right. So y'all tell us how you feel about our food takes. And yeah, man. I guess we can get into wrapping up 2024. How was your 2024? Like just in general.
I mean, from a music perspective, a life perspective.
Life, man. How was your 2024?
I mean, I think it was pretty good. I was mostly just. I'll think about it from a writing perspective too. I feel like from looking at it that way, I mean, I was mostly just like following what I was listening to, writing a lot of reviews, doing some profiles, tracking that the Drake Kendrick beef was definitely a big part of my year as a writer. But besides that, as a person, you know, it was cool. What about you?
It's pretty good. I was super duper stressed because I needed to. I started my master's program, so it's just a lot of like work. I have not been worked that much in school in my life. Like undergrad was like a breeze compared to this graduate program. So
I feel like you were still churning out a bunch of interviews while still doing that though.
A lot of interviews, less reviews. I realized I didn't review a lot this year, which I want. It'd be funny because like the people that reach out to me that I'm like fans of, they be fans of my reviews and don't even be watching interviews like that. So which is interesting. I'm like, damn, niggas like what is this nigga calling back for? What you calling back for, nigga? What?
I just want to see if you answered the question. Then.
I didn't. Bye. All right. Anyway, yeah, people that be like I be fans of who I interview, they be they be fans of my reviews, and I haven't been doing a lot of reviews, so I do want to acknowledge that I haven't. I was just really busy with school, but I'm gonna try to get back with that.
Do you think the reviews take you more time?
Yeah, because I gotta listen to the album, so depending on how long the album is, I gotta review it. Gotta have some pizza boxes on deck, and just gotta actually set a long time to do a review. But I mean, like I said, I was just super busy, but I should be able to balance my schedule this year.
I mean, you hit a few of the big ones.
Yeah, I did GNX, and I did I don't know whatever else came out this year, but I'll try to get some more. But no, I love doing reviews, and we'll get into some stuff that because I reviewed a couple things that you reviewed, so we'll get into that in this thing. But yeah, before we get into the music though, as we did last year, I kind of want to touch on film because me and Alphonse watch things. We created a top 5 list of things that we really like this year. And I say this all the time. I'm gonna say this when I do my best albums of the year. Don't trust my rankings. I suck at ranking things. I like literally after I'm done with this, I could be like, actually, I don't like that ranking. And I will be lying if I said I've already ranked the movies. I just got movies right here. So let me open up my little letterbox. So I'm pretty sure you're a bit more organized than me. So I'll let you start it off with just something that you were feeling this year.
Yeah. I mean, the movies that came out this year, I feel like I was in and out at the movies this year. There were like some big ones that I caught, and there were some ones that like, I still haven't seen, like the Gladiator 2s of the world and stuff like that. But I mean, I'll start out with a couple action movies that I liked. There was one I watched pretty recently. I just watched this. It's called Life After Fighting.
Mm.
Like it's like this Australian martial arts movie that kind of feels like a Christian movie, but it's not. It's about like some retired MMA fighter who owns like a martial arts studio, and he gets into a relationship with one of his students' parents, like a student's like 5 years old, probably younger, and the girl's ex-husband gets pissed off, ends up coming to the school, kidnapping a couple of the kids, and then the lead finds out that he's running like a child trafficking ring.
What's the name of
And
this?
so, Life After Fighting.
Okay.
That's why I said it feels like a Christian movie, because the plot kind of sounds like that Christian movie that came out like last year or a year before, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, yeah.
That was like conservatives are running up.
Was that good?
What, Sound of Freedom? I didn't watch that. I sat that out. But this one, so he ends up like going into like this world of child trafficking, and it's really low budget, but brilliant. It's got some of the worst music you'll ever hear in your life. Like all the rap it's only like 2 rap songs in the movie, but they all caught my attention because they sound like some like Fort Minor or some shit. But yeah, that's a cool one. And another action movie I'll mention that I liked, that I think a lot of people think is cheesy, but I really enjoyed it. It was called The Beekeeper with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's basically Jason Statham fighting Josh Hutcherson as like some CEO spoiled tech bro, and that shit's hard.
All right. So I realized I was so out the loop. Like I was just so kind of inundated in school. I don't know if I watched 5 movies in 2024 that came out this year. So I might mix this in with a little bit of TV shows that I watched. But I will give you one that dropped. Juror number 2. You see that one?
I haven't seen that yet.
It's the Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, this isn't really like a spoiler. I guess I don't know. It's kind of hard not to tell what this movie is without spoiling it. Well, but this all happens within the very first 15 minutes. So I'll just give you that. Guy gets picked up for jury duty. His wife is pregnant, so of course he doesn't want to do it because she's about to be due at any time. Ends up going on the jury, and it's a murder trial. And as they're retelling like what the case is, he finds out, wait, I was there at the night of this murder. Did I murder this girl? And that's kind of just goes down, hill from there. So it was an interesting movie. The black people were very unreasonable in the movie. They made the black people very outrageous.
Are there any like big black actors in it?
The one nigga that looked like Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know his name.
Looks like Lawrence Fishburne. I feel like Lawrence Fishburne's a real like specific look.
That one nigga that he was in Reno 911. The black dude from Reno 911.
Oh, his name like Cedric Yarborough.
Yeah, don't that nigga look like Lawrence Fishburne?
Now you say it sometimes. He got the same hairline.
Exactly. That nigga, and it was some black lady, like maybe I know her from somewhere, or she just looked like a black lady Like, I don't know. It's either I know her from somewhere, or she just looked like a black lady you see, like, at Walmart or something. I don't know. But they were very unreasonable people.
Are you a Clint Eastwood guy?
Am I what?
A Clint Eastwood guy?
I wouldn't say I'm a Clint Eastwood guy. But there are drawbacks to the movie outside of the black people thing, because it's just like certain things kind of feel like a little like, alright, I feel like that could have been written a little bit better. But overall, it was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah. I feel like even just like tracing like modern Clint Eastwood, I feel like I'm sort of checked out on it. I mean, there's like tons of like older Clint Eastwood stuff that I like go back to.
Yeah.
Trying to think of ones I saw this year, like Played as It Lays or whatever. What else is? I mean, obviously you have like the spaghetti western trilogy from like the '60s and stuff like that. But I remember when we were probably kids and like Gran Torino came out. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I've never seen Gran Torino. Like, I know what it is,
Really?
I know, but I've never actually watched it.
I mean, you should. It's like it's an interesting like relic. Let me go to my next one. I have this movie. It's like a short. It's like under an hour. It's about 55 minutes. It's called Rap World. It's by this comedian Connor O'Malley. I don't know if you're familiar with him. I feel like you like the white comedians. So
I'm about to say, ain't that the white boy? That's funny. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I feel like that's your bag right there. And and it's basically about like these three 20-something, 30-something kind of losers in Pennsylvania that get together for one night, and they basically want to record a rap album. And it's just these three white guys, and I mean they obviously suck at rapping, and throughout the night they just get diverted, doing all the like at a house party, getting rejected by girls, like just bullshitting around. I didn't really expect to like it because I kind of wrote off Connor O'Malley just like that's just like some white people shit over there.
Yeah.
But I think it is actually like a pretty good time capsule, and also kind of has like this sadness to it that kind of made it feel a little bit deeper than it had any right to be.
All right. I was gonna say I didn't expect that name drop, and I didn't know he put out a short film or anything. So I did just look it up. All right. Rap World, interesting. I'll check that one out. I think like my white friend Spencer showed me, bro. So shout out to him. But okay, so I guess my next thing, this is where I throw in a TV show because it's like I feel like I haven't watched enough movies really, that I really love from this year. And From. You know about From?
I've never heard of that in my life.
Really? So I only know about this show because when season 1 was coming out, I had a Roku TV, and Roku was spamming like the mess out of this. Like they were going in.
It's like a Roku original.
It's not a Roku original, but it would just promote it kind of like, when like the Roku TV just sitting there for a long time and go to the little city view, like it'd be like from, and it was this black nigga that was looking crazy. It's the black nigga from Lost, if you ever seen Lost. And I was just like, all right, bro, I'm gonna look at this. It's a show about people who are living in this city, and they don't know how they arrived. Like they were driving, and they all got stuck, kind of like in this parallel universe almost, and they can't leave. They don't know how to get out. And at nighttime, they're like zombie type of creatures that come out, and it's like a psychological thriller. It's very, very interesting. It's 4 seasons already, so we're 4 seasons deep, or 3 or 4 seasons deep. And last episode just came out like last month. It's one of the best shows out right now. From is great.
Starring Harold Perrineau.
Yes, that guy. Yes, the black nigga from black nigga from Lost. Yes, Harold. That nigga there. When I mean this nigga is putting on like award-winning act, bro. He be so fed up because there's a bunch of white people. He be so fed up with these white people, bro. That jump be so funny. Like he be snapping. It is so good. He's the strongest character by far. But just the premise of just like you don't know how they got there. You don't know like why they're there. Is it a purpose that they're there? It's just really interesting show. I love From.
What channel is it on?
It's an MGM Plus show. Don't do that. Let me see. What?
Is MGM Plus his own streaming service?
It is.
And you have MGM Plus?
I do. Because MGM used to be something else. I forget what it used to be, but like they bought out something, I think. And now
that's the problem. But I feel like as time has gone on, the streaming services have only gotten more complicated to use. Because if you think about like when Netflix was first like making its impact, what was that, like 10 years ago now? Maybe even more than that now. It was kind of just like really simple to just like go on there, and it was kind of like this alternative to cable. And now that everything's so spread out, you kind of never know where anything is.
Yeah. It's like cable again, you know. And I don't.
Even cable had like this organization to it. You have to use all these like secondary apps. Like I use like JustWatch.com or something like that, and I'm like typing in something, and sometimes that's wrong, and maybe by the time you actually get to it, it gets taken down or moved to something else. And so you throw an MGM. Like I'm all for like the auxiliary like streaming services. Like I have some of those too, but MGM Plus was a curveball.
Hey, I don't know if you're one of these type of people, but I just looked it up. 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, if that means anything to you.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
All right.
I don't believe in Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. Good show, I promise. It's a very popular show too. I'm surprised you've never heard of it. It's like MGM Plus like primary show.
Every time I think about Harold Perrineau, I think about him and that's him in The Best Man. That's getting the lap dance from Regina Hall.
Yeah.
It's a classic moment right there.
It's classic.
Did you ever watch the Third Best Man, like the mini series that they did?
No, but I remember it happened. Never watched it though.
I think it came out last year during like Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah.
It's not bad, you know.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
If you watching the Best Man TV series, you can watch From, niggas.
I mean, Best Man, first one, and even like the Best Man Holiday, they're both good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even be clowning them.
All right.
If anything, you should be watching that.
All right.
Well, my third pick, I'm gonna go with "It Was All a Dream." This is Dream Hampton's hip hop documentary. And Dream Hampton, if anyone doesn't know, is a writer turned filmmaker. She came up writing for The Source back in the early 90s. And this documentary she filmed on like a camcorder for like a student project I think she was doing for NYU. And she basically compiled the footage years later. And it's basically just looking at rap in New York, LA, mostly New York, between the years of about 91 to about like 94 through her eyes. And I mean, there's a lot of like footage with Biggie, Snoop is in there, Prodigy, Q-Tip. I think one of my favorite scenes in the movies is her with Method Man talking on the Staten Island ferry about just like the role of women in hip hop, and it's really coming at it through that lens. I'm not even like, I feel like I normally wouldn't even have like a documentary in my top 5, but I really felt that this was the kind of like, especially especially compared to like last year where we had like that hip hop 50 going on, and we had all this like surface level coverage of like hip hop history. I felt like this is really subversive compared to that, and how it focuses on like a really narrow moment in time. Yeah. And I feel like it covers it with a lot of love and depth.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. What was it called?
It Was All a Dream.
It Was All a Dream. All right, writing that one down. All right, so since we're getting in our documentary bag, start a docu-series. Sorry, I was typing that. It Was All a Dream. The Curious. This is very different. It just drew me in, bro, because I love stuff like this. It's called The Curious Case of Natalie Grace. Now, your face is just hilarious when I say these things.
It sounds like about like a cannibal or something.
No, so Natalie Grace is a little girl from the Ukraine who got adopted in like the 2000s. And, about 2000s. And this white family adopted her from America, got her. They couldn't have kids, I think. Oh, no, they could have kids. I think they just wanted to like be one of those white people. We're going to save this girl. So they get her. It's going good. Man, we got a daughter and we got our biological son. So like, man, we got a complete family. But then this girl's like 6 years old. But then they're giving her a bath, and the dad or the mom, whoever was doing it, they called the other spouse saying, "Hey, she's having her period. She's only 6 years old." They're like, "This is crazy," and she also had a bunch of pubic hair. They're like, "What's going on? This is weird." So anyway, they keep going, and she kept having a period, and they're like, "You're only 6. What?" So they take her to the doctor, and then we're like, "Hey, this girl actually might be 18 years old." And they're like, "What? I thought she was 6 years old. I think this girl's 18." And they're like, "Are you lying about your age?" So this whole time, they don't know how old she is, but the parents, they say to themselves, "This girl is 18." And she starts doing things. They say she tried to stab them, all type of crazy stuff. So then it ends with, so not it ends with, but then it goes to, you know what? We're actually going to buy her own apartment. So it's at the point where they just buy an 18-year-old an apartment to live in, or a 6-year-old. So there's a 6 or 18-year-old living in this apartment by herself, and it just goes from there. And it's just ups and downs and all type of crazy stuff. And that was just a super duper intriguing docu-series, because I love that type of like, what is going on here type of stuff.
Yo, what are you watching? Is your next pick gonna be the Tubi miniseries on Diddy?
It's on HBO. It's on HBO. It's on HBO. It's on HBO. Chill out. It's on HBO Max. The Curious Case of Natalie Grace. And it's just very interesting, bro, because you're watching it, you like, wait, nigga, is this a 7-year-old girl living by herself in an apartment? What is happening right now? It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane.
What are so they're unsure if it's a 7-year-old or an 18-year-old, and they just buy them an apartment?
Pretty much, because they're like, she's wilding, she's trying to stab us, she's doing all this crazy stuff. We gonna pay for your apartment, but you just can't live with us no more. And they couldn't get in contact with the mom because she's away in Ukraine, and it's just a bunch of crazy stuff going on. They can't get in contact with her, so they can't find any actual documented proof on how old she is.
So she got so it's basically like she got like the Hasbula thing going on.
Pretty much, or even better, that remember that one little kid from Australia who was getting bullied, and they was saying like he was like a grown man, but really he was like a little kid, and it was like, man, they trying to scam y'all to get money.
I mean, you know I don't be on the conspiracy side of YouTube like you.
So. Oh my god! What, nigga? What's your next pick, nigga? Give me your next pick.
Another one I saw recently is called The Order. It stars Jude Law and Nicholas Hoult. It's about this sort of like white supremacist group in the 80s that branches off from the Aryan Nation and sort of come up with this plan to just have like to just basically like seize the capital and plant some sort of revolutions based on like a true story. I mean, it's basically just like a cool like FBI agent villain back and forth, and they have like these face-offs at the end. Definitely in that. Have you ever seen Heat?
I have seen Heat.
Yeah, it's obviously not Heat, but it has a little bit of that going where these two guys like building to a face-off at some point. And I mean, it's just like a good, just like detective radical group story rooted in history.
All right. So since we're doing the historical pieces, let me say something that won't get me judged. This is actually a really good show. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. My Brilliant Friend.
I have heard.
Have you watched it?
I haven't.
Do you know what it's about?
A little bit. Give me the breakdown.
So essentially, My Brilliant Friend is kind of like a timepiece show in Italy. Shot in Italy, actual like Italian actresses, and it's these two friends who grew up since they're little kids, and it just shows kind of like their life from like kids to like elder age, and the friend that's brilliant is Leela, and it just kind of just shows like how Italy was at that time, where they're like kind of becoming like a lot of like radicalized like left wing people, and it's kind of just like documenting like how they became radicalized and why they kind of want to move to a more communist side of just the world, and just kind of want to change everything. And it's just very, very, very interesting show. And honestly, I would put it at the point that this might be one of the best TV shows of all time.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the New York Times put that as like the #1 novel of like the century so far. The Elena Ferrante.
Yeah.
I haven't read it. I've always been meaning to read it. Have you read any of them?
Never read the books, just seen the TV show.
Yeah, I know it's esteemed.
So good.
Yeah, it's crazy. We could. That's almost like the problem with like culture now. Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's a good thing too. We're here naming all these like movies and TV shows, and we have not watched the same things.
No, not at all.
And that's basically like how having a conversation is now. Like you go with your friend, you're like, "Oh, are you watching this?" They're like, "No, I'm watching this." Have you watched this? They're like, "No, I'm not watching this." And so, what are you even supposed to talk about? But yeah, my #1. I hope you've seen this. Is Challengers. Have you seen that?
That's crazy. I forgot to write that down. I've been trying to like put in my letterbox everything I've seen this year. I forgot to write that down. Yes, I have seen Challengers.
What's your take on that, dude?
I think Tashi Duncan was a dog. That was my takeaway. That Tashi Duncan is an absolute dog in this entire film. I liked it. Like that was like a really good movie. I really liked that movie.
No, yeah, and I mean, I feel like the whole relationship between the three of them is, I mean, it's just entertaining as fuck.
It was.
Who are you pulling for?
Who's I pulling for? So I forget the other characters' names, but I was kind of pulling for the broke nigga.
Why?
Just because, like, he was trying to get it out the mud. He was kind of struggling, trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Tashi Duncan was having it. I'm like, hey man, go have your day, man. Go watch, bro. I'm an underdog guy. Like when it comes to sports, March Madness come around. I don't know none of these college niggas. Let me get the underdog, man.
Do you think Zendaya is good
in the movie or just in general?
In general,
I liked her in that. I think she's straight in what she does. I don't think she's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something I like. I feel like I never fully believe her in any role.
Really?
I feel like she's so famous that it kind of overshadows a lot of what she does, and it's hard for her to just like slip into a character. I mean, there are people that are able to do it, like somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio, somebody who's ultra famous and can like slip into a role. But yeah, so I feel like every time I'm watching her, I still think, oh, this is Zendaya making a face. This is Zendaya. This is Zendaya's like, and so I feel like that takes me out of it a bit. But I do feel like this is her best role to date.
Yeah, I'm going to say take that. People probably don't agree with, but one thing that always throws me off about her and Sasha Banks, I forget that they're black sometimes.
I mean, I feel like I never forget Sasha Banks is black.
Really?
Zendaya, yeah. Why do you forget she's black?
Because she don't really.
You feel like she's not repping it hard enough?
No, she still kind of look black. Like if I would say if I seen her, I don't know. I like to put people in boxes. So I like to look. What's your name? What's your race? Da da da. If I seen her, I'll be confused all the time. Like, is she black? She's just gonna kind of look black. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping.
Is that a Southern thing? I feel like you guys got like the most colorism going on down there.
I don't know enough niggas from up north to know how colorist y'all are, but I'm pretty sure.
I feel like everywhere is pretty colorist.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the South is probably bad. South is probably really black. But I mean, I don't know. I'm about to say V's got a bunch of dark skin bars. You ever realize that?
Yeah, he does. I mean, the Tony Snell bar always sticks out. Like even when I'm rapping along with that song, I'd be like, man, it's kind of harsh.
That nigga said his. What he said? He said he turned to drink the same colors Drew Holiday, the Tony Snell bar. He has a lot of, like, I know for a fact V's was one of them kids at high school that was picking on all the dark skinned niggas. Like, he definitely was one of them kids for sure. But
if I put something like that around my girlfriend, I'll be playing that, and I'll try to say something over that line. I'm like, yeah.
That's entirely funny. That's so funny. Yeah, man. V's is.
Never mind.
V's is hilarious. Ridiculous human. But what was I finna say? I like Zendaya. I get what you're saying. There are certain people that you see them and it's like, oh, this is just this person playing a role.
You,
You know
you
what I'm
like
saying?
Zendaya except for the fact that she's not black enough for you.
Hey, let me shout out somebody who got that same Zendaya Sasha Banks effect, and my boy finna have a big year, man. Do you see Atlanta?
The show, yeah,
Yeah, you seen everything?
yeah,
Remember the episode with Kevin Samuels?
yeah.
Remember the main character, the mixed kid?
Oh yeah.
He's about to go crazy next year.
What's his name again?
What is my boy name? What's my boy name? Freaking Tyreek Withers. So
Yeah,
he's from Jacksonville. I was cool with his brother, and yeah, bro, finna be like in the next Jordan Peele film.
really.
Yeah, he's in the next Jordan Peele film with Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans is next.
Yeah, they're in the next Jordan Peele film, and I
What's your favorite Wayans brothers movie?
um
I was reading something earlier this year on white chicks. I feel like it was this writer Robert Daniels who wrote like a piece on it, and he was talking about like the racial how white chicks is actually like a radically like racial portrait of a time. I don't know if I go that far and say that,
what's this
but
who is this black person that said that?
yeah.
You know him?
So, I don't know him
Okay.
personally.
I was about to say I got some thoughts on somebody who would say something like that.
Why you about to cook him?
Yeah, I was.
but no, I mean, I feel like it's interesting to look at a Wayne's Brothers movie that way. 'Cause I feel like they've never been treated that way.
I don't think that they were going for that at all. I don't think that they were. People who we're gonna get to the music, guys, but let me rant. People who say stuff like that, those are people. Shout out, was he black, right?
Yeah, he's black.
People who say stuff like that are like, they strike me as people who didn't realize they were black until like 2014.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Salute to bruh. I'm not saying that's him, but there is this phenomenon of black people who strike me as they didn't realize they was black until Twitter started getting a little bit more progressive, and it was like, damn, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, until niggas didn't realize they were black to Mike Brown died. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the shift. When Mike Brown died, it became this like resurgence of like black people who just grew up around like a bunch of white people or whatever, and they have to like overdo their blackness or whatever. When like if you actually go around black people, you're just black. But a lot of people gotta I remember it was some TV show where they was like, man, we got like shea butter and like hair grease in the writing room, and it's like, what show is that?
I don't remember that. Was it like Blackish or something?
Whatever, sure. But it's just like, bro, it's like,
It's not like some Kenya Barra shit.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's like, did y'all really grow up black? Like, who's saying this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, that type of stuff, I'd be like, bro, like, this feels like somebody who has to overcompensate for their blackness because they didn't grow up having a real black reality.
You saying all this without reading the article.
What I said, I ain't talking about bruh. He just sparked something that I've been feeling this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Salute to bruh. Bruh might be black as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm more so talking about just that type of individual.
Yeah, this is a movie I saw for the first time like a month or so ago. It's called Mixing Nia,
Okay.
and it stars Hilary Banks, like the original Hilary Banks, not Coco Jones. And she's like she's like a mixed girl, a biracial girl, from New York who ends up like basically having like an identity crisis. She's like, am I black? Am I white? And she tries to explore that through like dating. She's like in like a love triangle, one with like a white guy who's like works at her ad agency, one with like this guy with locks, played by Isaiah Washington, who's like extremely like pro-black to the point that he's like always kind of like lecturing her about her blackness. And I don't know if the movie is like has anything like that interesting to say about it, but it is interesting to see it. Like, it's basically a movie about a woman realizing that she's black.
You know, I was thinking this while you're talking, just listen to everything. I think me and you would actually do a good podcast because we differ enough on a lot of things that I feel like it would make very interesting conversation.
I feel like we differ on like most things.
That's why I would be interested, you know? All right, so My favorite TV show of the year would definitely be My Brilliant Friend. So my number one, this isn't a number one at all, so that's kind of all out of order. But I'll give you my favorite movie and probably my second favorite TV show of the year.
Yeah.
So my favorite movie, Perfect Days. I lied. That's not my favorite movie. That was a really good movie. Really, really good movie. I was telling you about that. It's literally a movie about a Japanese nigga who is a janitor. That's literally, and that may sound like boring, but it is very just endearing to watch his journey every day. You're just watching his everyday journey on just being the janitor. And the people that he's like around and like the characters around them, just very interesting people. So if you like a movie where you could just kind of like a day in a life type of movie, like a slice of life type of movie, Perfect Days, definitely go check it out. Really, really good movie.
Yeah, I've been meaning to see that. I know it's going to be so slow. So I've been mentally preparing for it.
Very. But if you want something a little bit more, my second favorite TV show, Fight Night. The $1 Million Heist, Fight Night. You know about that?
No.
That's the Kevin Hart TV show. Do you have no idea what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
It's the all-star
on Netflix? Is it on Netflix?
Peacock. All-star studded show. Got Kevin Hart, got Terrence Howard, got Samuel L. Jackson. It got freaking what's my nigga that was in the DNA video?
The DNA video?
The Kendrick song. Freaking dark skin nigga.
It's not like the real life. What was that one that Kevin Hart had in the Real Husbands of Hollywood?
Is he in that show? No, bro. What's the hold on? Freaking incredibly famous actor, bro. He was in DNA video. He was the cop. Nigga, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't remember who was the
Don
cop.
Cheadle. Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle.
Is that how you describe Don Cheadle as the cop in the DNA video?
Bro, that was the first thing that came to my brain. I just watched that. I just watched it recently. But the show is about 1970s Atlanta, and Kevin Hart is throwing like the biggest party. He's trying to get some money, and he inviting all of the dope dealers around America, like the Black Mafia and whatnot. David Banner is randomly in the show. Samuel Jackson was cooking the entire. It's this mean looking ass nigga in the show. But essentially he throws this party. The party gets robbed. Hence the $1 Million Heist. And Samuel Jackson trying to figure out who did it. He think Kevin Hart did it, and it's just a whole big thing around it. And it is a very, very, very. It's based off a true story. Very, very good show.
Man, I don't know how I've never heard that. The only thing I've seen Kevin Hart do this year was like Kai Cenat streams.
I would say, how have you not heard? Like, this is like this. Oh, I can see why, because I feel like a lot of black people have not heard about it. A lot of people have not heard about it, but they pushed it very, very like hard, and it has a bunch of very, very famous people in the show. Chloe Bailey's in the show. This seems like some random ass like terrible TV show. Like some of the people I'm throwing out, I'm like, why are you watching this? But trust me, it's a very, very good TV show.
That's your number one show, movie,
second. Very, very good.
Fight Night starring Kevin Hart.
Not the lead, you feel me? Samuel Jackson. We should lead with Samuel Jackson being the, you feel me? Very, very good. For people who care about those type of things, 96% of Rotten Tomatoes, if you care about those certain type of things.
Bro, everything's a fucking 96% of Rotten Tomatoes.
If anything I would suggest it to you to watch, I would say go watch Fight Night.
I will watch it. I'll take you up on that. I'm trying to think what my show of the year would be, man. Bro, it's kind of so bad, but I love it, man. I love Bel Air, man.
Bel Air's great. I love Bel Air. No, Bel Air's great, dog.
Bro, you saw the way they ended this season with the season finale of Bel Air has a kidnapping, a death, like a failed marriage, like.
Shout out to Uncle Phil being a cuck this season. That was pretty interesting. What else happened? The crackhead girl was so annoying. Gosh, she was so annoying.
Carlton's girlfriend.
Gosh, she was so annoying, dog. She was getting mad about stuff that had nothing to do with her. Like, she was getting mad for Will, old girl. It's like, bro, who you just came in the picture? Like, who are you? Like, calm down. She was so annoying. Gosh.
I'm surprised that Man, I think the next season's supposed to be the final one. They might kill Carlton.
It's gonna be a big death. It's gonna be like Carl's gonna kill himself or something. That's definitely what's gonna happen. Or he gonna OD on some drugs. It's gonna be something like that. Like, yeah, for sure. For sure. But no, I get you. Going into that show is like, I'm not gonna like this. End up liking it, So shout out to that.
I am glued in every episode. I wish it was like a 20 episode season.
Facts. I need way more episodes.
It needs to be episodes like I've been watching. For my birthday, I bought myself the complete series of Beverly Hills 90210. Just got never watched it. It was actually mad. But I bought that for myself. And there's always just like these side characters like get their own episode to just do whatever, and where you feel like the writers of the show are really like at their limits because they're like, fuck, what we have to come up with like 24 ideas a season, and so not everything could be made to push forward the plot. They have to have like all those filler episodes and shit like that. And so I'd be interested to see like what a Bel Air filler episode would look like. like what type of crazy ass shit would they come up with?
Something insane. What was the nigga in the first season that was trying to kill Will?
Oh, the dude from which one? The one from like that was like from like real LA.
Yeah, it was the nigga that he
that
played. He played the basketball game with. He was trying to kill bro.
Yeah.
What was bruh's name?
I don't remember.
Forget his name. But do you know who that is? Funny enough,
who?
That's a battle rapper. Nigga named Easy the Block Captain. That's the nigga who's causing this whole controversy with Remy and Papoose and them. That's the yeah. That's the nigga that Remy been saying. That's him. Isn't that crazy? Niggas finna kill Will and he will Remy.
You're really tapped into modern battle rap.
Yeah.
Is there a history of battle? What's the history of battle rap in the South?
It's not a lot. I mean, like all the legends in battle rap. I don't. There's not too many from the South.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of the battle rap I watch is like old, so I watch a lot of like the older like Philly stuff or whatever, or like New York stuff, and so I don't really keep up with it like these days. But there's rarely anybody that's like from like below like Baltimore or some shit.
So like the nigga I said, nigga named Swamp that was eating coon.
Yeah,
he from South Carolina, obviously. There's a Christian battle rapper. So there's like this Christian battle rapper stable. It's like 4 niggas. One nigga named Loso. He from Houston. Yeah, bro. One of the bigger battle rappers, nigga named John Adon. He's from New York, but he moved to Atlanta and he has like a battle rap league in Atlanta called Bullpen, and they do stuff like, but like it's not really like super. Like all the niggas like Charlie Clips, Daylight, Disaster, all them niggas they not from here.
Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of leagues now. I'll see like posters around New York sometimes to be like, oh, and so it's always like deep out in New York. It's like East New York or like somewhere like deep ass in Queens, and they'll be like, oh, having like a battle rap like show here. But yeah, there's a lot of leagues now.
You know what? Before we get into the music, we'll end this conversation off with this. I'll show you my freaking battle rap bar of the year. Let me see if I can pull this up with the quickness.
Who's it by?
Nigga named New Jersey Twerk. Ever heard of him? Shout out to New Jersey Twerk. New Jersey Twerk is a nigga that would be like, I thought he was gonna take battle rap mainstream, but he unfortunately he chokes too much. Like he's a nigga that just like he choke almost every battle.
What does taking battle rap mainstream look like?
I thought it was a good look when they one year at the BT Awards they had niggas battle for like a minute in front of the live stage, and I was like, okay, that's something. It's on TV. That's cool. BT. So like instead of doing the Freestyle Friday on Winter Park, they had like Smack do like get like unknown niggas and do like a tournament, and a few niggas from there. Okay, so no, it's niggas from North Carolina. Nigga named T Top, nigga named Briz Rothstein, and they came from doing that. So they did that like on BT. It was called the UFF. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought just more so like just being more visible, being in commercials and stuff like that. Like just having them like I remember one time they had the niggas DNA and Kayshawn, the NFL partner with them, and they would be like the Patriots versus the Jets, and like they would like DNA would be like rapping from like a Patriot fan perspective, and Kayshawn rapping for a Jets fan perspective, and just more stuff like that. I thought it'd be more visible.
yeah, yeah. The Freestyle Fridays is probably the most visible it probably ever was. Just because it was just like you didn't have to like go anywhere to like find it.
For sure, for sure.
Like Blind Fury and shit.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? I think about whatever happened to him sometimes. This right here though, this is my bar of the freaking year, man. Shout out to New Jersey Twerk. Let me turn this up. He says,
Talking banging. I'm talking banging. Power rules and the bloods. And we was sanctioned. One of the homies died, we pull up in funeral attire, but still gang shit. Red rag around a turtleneck. Look like Franklin. I'm talking gang shit. Look like Franklin. I'm talking pain shit. I'm talking pain shit. I was thinking about murder as a team. When it come to funerals, I done lost about 30 to the street. It's the GameCube intro. I seen that box go around so many times, I just turned into a G. You know, you gotta earn this in the street. You gotta earn this.
I knew it was gonna sound like that. So you love shit like that.
so fire, bro. What? That nigga said he had the red rag around a turtleneck like Franklin. Oh my gosh, that's crazy, man.
I know you was like walking around for like a week rapping that and imitating his voice.
Bro, I threw my bonnet when I heard that bar, bro. What, bro? That nigga's fire, man. But all right. So I guess we could. This is so long. We talked about movies for like an hour. It's so funny. But I was about to say, I guess we could kind of go right into just like where hip hop is at right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're more optimistic than I am. I'm more in the pessimistic bag, and you know, like so off camera, we've been talking about this Ka song. Ka has a song that's the intro to Thief Next to Jesus. And this nigga sounds so fed up with hip hop, bro. Like this nigga sound he want nothing to do with hip hop. Like he was just like niggas can't rap. The females only rapping about selling their coochie. Like he was damn near just kind of critiquing like black culture almost. Like bro, this shit just ass. Like I'm done with all of this. And that's kind of where I'm at, low key. And it's just I don't know, bro. I think it's very telling when you see people do their Apple Music or their Spotify Wrapped, and like niggas in their top 5 is like a 90s R&B singer, because I feel like a lot of people aren't really listening to a lot of newer rap, just because definitely on the mainstream level it's gotten so stagnant. It's like it's only one thing. Like if we compare like mainstream hip hop to like 90s or 2000s mainstream hip hop, you have way more variety you could listen to, because you could listen to a nigga like Styles P and the Locks talking about wildin' on niggas, and then also in the mainstream you can hear like a Common song, you know what I'm saying? And then for parallel, I mean on the opposite end of the Common song, you can listen to a nigga like DMX and go crazy, you know what I'm saying? But then you got a nigga like Mos Def. It was way more versatile. But now when you got to find these types of rapper, you really have to dig. That's why I feel like a lot of older people are kind of almost like aged out of hip hop, because they don't even know where to look anymore. Like me and you know where to look because we're younger, we know how to use the internet. But a lot of older people, like they might find some stuff that they like, but it's just like, damn, usually back in the day I could just hear this on the radio, or I could see this on my you know what I'm saying, MTV Jams or something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's just like, dog, we are at a spot where we are pushing way too much mediocrity, and I don't like it.
Do you think what you're saying right now is revisionist history?
No, because like you said, there always been a time where people are going to be complaining or whatever. Like, oh man, like hip hop is there because you, like you said, I Used to Love Her came out in 90 whatever or whatnot. But even then, stuff was probably changing, because you got to think about like before that, what was like Public Enemy, they in a super duper pro black bag or whatever or whatnot. And yes, it was changing, but it had not changed to the point where it's at right now. It was still diverse. It probably wasn't. No, it was definitely diverse. It's not as diverse as it is in the mainstream. Niggas probably was like, man, it's changing, and they could see where it was going, and it's at where niggas probably thought it was gonna be at.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like there are like several eras of rap where this happens, and obviously somebody that's like older than me, somebody like, oh, it wasn't like this. I mean, I feel like everybody always says that it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. I mean, this year, even when I was going back and reading a lot of like old source magazines, like looking for like digging through the archives, and I was surprised, like especially like around 93 ish. I was reading a lot of their reviews, and I was surprised that the tone on like quite a few of them were like, ugh, like rap is not as cool as it was in '87, and I'm tight, and and they kept like repeating that sentiment, like, oh, this shit is changing, like the Chronic came out and everything's about to turn into like gangster rap, and the sound, the music, the joy of the music that we grew up on is gone. And so, I mean, and that leads right into like Common's like I used to love her, right? And so I feel like these are sentiments that have like always been there. And I understand what you're saying now that it's different, especially the sound is so much different. So we're talking about like Playboy Cardi or whatever. It might be like the hottest rapper in the country right now.
I quickly do want to add this. One thing that I think niggas are always biting. I don't think niggas are getting rewarded for biting like they are now. There are niggas who are just straight up carbon copies who are just blowing up. And I don't think it was rewarded as it is now. Because it was always niggas that was biting and sounded like niggas or whatever. But now I feel like you get rewarded to the nth degree and sounding just like the next nigga.
Yeah. Are you saying that extends to like people who are just like profiting off of rap, like somebody like a Vanilla Ice or something like that? In the Dreamhampton documentary that I mentioned before, it was all a dream. There's this scene in the Source offices. It's a pretty subtle scene because it's a pretty subtle movie where Cypress Hill are sitting in the office just scrolling through the magazine, and I forget who it was. It might be I forget which member it was, but they were flipping through the issue, and they stop on like a Vanilla Ice profile, and they kind of just sit there and look at it, and the camera just kind of like sits on them as they like kind of you could tell that they're just like thinking about it, like what the fuck is going on here? What is this? And so, do you think that skepticism is not there now? Because I mean, Vanilla Ice was still being profiled. He was still like being covered. He was, and what do you think is the main difference?
So I was gonna say, I don't know enough about Vanilla Ice, the person. Like, I don't know what Vanilla Ice was. Was Vanilla Ice like just like hip hop head, and you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause you know how he is, like niggas see a white boy and like, oh, what is this or whatever. Was like, I don't know if Vanilla Ice was on like some culture vulture type stuff, or was he just really liking hip hop and that's the song that blew? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I would have to do more research on Vanilla Ice, but I do think we are definitely more accepting of just BS. Like I said, the standard is lower, bro. Like, bro, how many niggas we see blow up? Like, it was a point where you really had to know how to rap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or at least make a catchy song. Now, niggas are just, I feel like the internet, social media is more easy, just to accessible to a microphone to rap and mix it on GarageBand. It's so easy to become a rapper that everybody's doing it. I forget who told me this, but I think Sir Mikey Rocks might have said this in one of my interviews with him. He was like, you ever realize somebody go viral, what's the first thing they do? Go make a rap song. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of what they do. They don't make a rock song or anything. They just go straight to a rap song.
Like the Rizzler?
Sure. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Rizzler kind of went crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That what that boy say, that nigga say, he said Bag Santa, Black Panther. What kind of, that nigga was talking. All right, shout out to the Rizzler, you know what I'm saying?
Rizzler was listening to some Swamp.
Rizzler listened to Twerk. That nigga listened to New Jersey Twerk when he was writing that. But they all go to rap. And I feel like we are just so accepting of anybody that comes in the culture and just comes. I'm not talking about white people. I'm just saying in general, like anybody could just blow up. And I just feel like, you could just bite a nigga and blow up. But how many niggas sound like Lil Durk? Exactly like Lil Durk. How many niggas do that? You know what I'm saying? I went to CVS to get some Mucinex, and now I don't know where I'm finna go next. It's like, bruh, how many niggas do that?
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, these are things that I feel like always happen. Like just a few minutes ago, I brought up Beverly Hills 90210. On Beverly Hills 90210, this is actor Brian Austin Green, who's one of the leads. And in about 95, he drops an album produced by like the Far Side. And it completely sounds like just like a mid-90s Far Side record. And obviously it was shit on. And so, do you think the difference now is that if the 2024 version of Brian Austin Green drops a rap album, do you think it's just not shit on? Do you think it's like,
Well, it's a few things. One, I don't know too much about bro. I don't know if he was legitimately a hit, like, cause he could have been like a real. Cause at that time to do something like that, it's not like you trying to blow up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you trying to keep. Cause he already on one of the biggest TV shows. It's not like he trying to, you know what I'm saying, get some fame from that. When niggas drop a rap song now, they're trying to extend their fame. You know what I'm saying? They not even. They say probably even like rappers or even love rap like that. To do something like that in the 90s, I would assume he probably liked hip hop and was like, just wanted to try it out. Like, I have access to the far side. Let me get them to produce this. So I think it's just kind of like just sucking the culture dry, and people let them do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even saying I disagree with you. I'm just asking the questions to clarify it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's one of the things that's kind of like recurring in things that I write about and things that I like heavily critique is what is this music's relationship to hip hop in general? And that could be from on the scale of like Ian to where I'm like, oh, this is clearly something that even if he never does go on to do something else, this is something that could be seen as like a rap as a springboard to just like some sort of fame or just,
Yep.
you know, or even something as like pro hip hop as like Kendrick Lamar's GNX, of where when I was writing about it, I was thinking about like, what does he's always been extremely famous, but now he's at like a different level of famous. He's about to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And how does that change how you look at his music? Does it make the contradictions that have always been in this music more glaring or not? And so those are some of the questions that you think about on from like as low as Ian to as high as Kendrick, you know? And so I do think of some of what you're saying is true because, I mean, there's just so much shit. Like when you go online, like if you go on like TikTok right now, you're gonna come across like non-stop rap songs. They're in the background of every video.
Yeah.
They're in, like you said, if somebody goes viral, they're gonna make a rap song. And so I guess it's just like living with that and kind of just picking and choosing what you take seriously and what you don't. I feel like sometimes people could like just be like, "Oh, this is popular, so I have to take it seriously," and I feel like you don't have to. I don't know.
I just feel like it's a bunch, bro. Like, niggas don't like I said, bro. It's so many carbon copies. It's not a lot of like originality. Like, I feel like
What's a rap song that like you heard recently this year? One that comes to mind that like got you tight.
bro, Huncho's not good.
That's where you're going with this Huncho.
Huncho is not good, bro. The fact that we're giving Huncho a pass for what he's putting out, bro, it's a crime. Huncho is not. Huncho should be in a G League right now. Do you know how tall that Negro is?
Yeah, I mean, he look about 6'6".
He's 6'8". Him and Barron Trump should be trying out for the G League right now. Like, take your talents and use them for good, buddy. Like,
What is it about Huncho? Do you think it just sounds like just too much like all of the land of the last decade?
it sound like a nigga body slammed all the auto tune on his voice. It ain't no soul to it. It's just a nigga talking into a mic. It's like, bro. It's just like, wait, like, bro, I can hear this somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you hear something. When I heard El Custo, I was like, damn, bro, this is refreshing. Like, this don't sound like nobody. He got his own swag. He got his own thing going on. Like, that was like something I heard this year, and I was like, bro, this nigga El Custo, like, he is own artist. He got his own thing going on. All of these niggas sounded like, bro.
Yeah.
Just...
And I mean, it's just that rap, like you were saying, it's such like one of the few pathways to like fame, and there's so much of it that you're just bound to just run into more
Yeah, probability.
More things that just sound like things that sound exactly like they came before, but without a personality. I mean, there's even rappers who were rappers who once were very original who were just copying their own music. You know, like I could say that about like 2024, like Future or something like that.
Yeah.
I think the We Don't Trust You. I like the first one a little bit. And We Still Don't Trust You, and even like the mixtape Pluto. I think a lot of it just sounds like older Future without any of the complexities, the emotions, the like him feeling like he's like pouring out his soul, or even when he's not, he's like playing around with auto-tune and experimenting with like his relationship with Southside or whoever.
I think Future. I about to say, I think Future 10 years ago did more as an artist than he does now, for sure.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, this year I was listening to a lot of like that early 2010s Future, like that Dirty Sprite, like that first Dirty Sprite era, and he's really like pushing the limit of like what Atlanta rap is, and I guess you could say it's hard to do that forever, but it's hard to compare that to what music is now, you know.
See, I'll say this. I'll say this when we talk about street rap. My main critique about street rap is that they are just so one-dimensional. And we don't even got to go back to the 90s, because I feel like everybody want to go back to the 90s. The 90s is like, everybody's romanticizing it. I'll take it to the mid-2000s in the South, and I'll give you two artists. Plies, Boosie. Those two artists for me when I was a kid, everything. Those niggas were amazing. And to this day, that music holds up because of multiple reasons. Those niggas they showed you themselves in their music. Like Plies have a song like Becky, like a girl, like a song for the girls, you know what I mean? Or not Becky, but Becky. Or no, not Becky. Shawty. I'm tripping. Shawty. He have a song like Shawty where it's for the girls, romantic song. He have a song for the club. Then he'll have a song like a street nigga song. I'm wild on these niggas. But then he also have like an introspective song where he talking about how he drive his mama crazy. Boosie, the same thing. He have a song like Baby Mama where he talking about the problems with his baby mama. Very introspective on that. Then he have a song like Set It Off where he got niggas fighting in the club. He shows you range of emotions. Street rappers now is I'ma kill you. I'ma piss on your mama grave. I'ma do this. It's like, bro, God, dog, like, can y'all niggas show me? Is that all you niggas think about every day? Is no complexity to you?
But you're thinking about the entire scene. Like, you just brought up Plies and Boosie. Those are two rappers. And think about, like, Boosie. Think about, like, 2007, 8, Baton Rouge or something. There's obviously, like, a million other rappers that exist beyond Boosie that are in that scene. And
all the niggas that was relevant fit in the category I'm talking about, though. Every nigga that came out of Louisiana at that time period, from Webby, Boosie, the nigga Lil Fat, Wayne, who else came out of that time period? All them niggas from that time period that was relevant did what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you're naming like the greatest Southern rappers of like their era, like even those like other rappers. I mean, Young Boy's still listening to those rappers still to this day. That's
why the Young Boy's a nigga that he's the type of nigga that shows the complexities of a human, though. He talks about everything. That's the point that I'm making. That's not common. Like, all of these niggas rap about just one thing. Kodak. That's why niggas love Kodak. Kodak give you the complexity of who he is.
But 10 years from now, couldn't somebody be like, oh, like, the South was going crazy in 2024. They had Young Boy, they had No Cap, they had Rilo, they had Kodak, they had...
You just named niggas that do that, though. That's the point. You just named... All the niggas you just named are the niggas that... They're the outliers, in my opinion. A nigga like Kodak give you the complexity. Young Boy give you the complexity. Rilo, one of the best punchline rappers we done heard in years. No Cap give you, like, the complexities of who he is, and he's also a really good punchline rapper. But then you also have a million other niggas in this drill scene... You know what I'm saying? That only just rap about one thing. That's why I feel like a nigga like who else? A nigga like Chief Keef started to elevate as an artist when he started doing stuff over other beats, talking about other things, trying to bar up a little bit more heavier. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just I'ma come and kill you. And it's like, all right, bro, I hear you, dog.
I mean, I disagree with that. I think the early Chief Keef music is as good as like the later Chief.
Didn't say that. I'm just saying you could hear him elevate as an artist because he started producing. You feel me? Like he didn't know how to produce when I Don't Like came out. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? He just started becoming the elevator as an artist Because there was a period of time where Chief Keef was, I think, a little too high. And I feel like he was just doing anything. And it was like, all right, bro, I don't know what you're doing right now. I remember I interviewed the nigga, what's the nigga name? I forget his name, but it was a producer for him. And he was like, it's multiple Chief Keef songs y'all will never hear because he was in the studio like too high. And he just couldn't talk. And it was a point in time where it was just wilding. But I feel like recently when he kind of became a little bit more sober, Chief Keef is like, you can see like the growth in him.
Yeah. But you're calling Rilo and like Rilo, Youngboy, whoever outliers. But Boosie is Boosie because there's no other Boosie. He's an outlier too.
I think the point that I'm making is as a street rapper, most street rappers that we think about that are great from their time period didn't rap about just one thing. We talk about the Locks. All of them niggas rapped about it. You know what I'm saying? They have multiple songs talking about a lot of things. We could talk about DMX. DMX wasn't just rapping about beating niggas up. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, 98% of the Lock songs are about getting money and like fucking girls and mafioso dreams.
But well, okay, sure, maybe the Locks. But I'm saying in general, they you tell me Styles P only has one bag? Is that what you finna tell me?
I mean, he doesn't. They're like a little bit more sensitive. It's usually from like the production standpoint. Like he was willing to like hop on like these really like.
You never heard Barbara before? You ever heard that song Barbara?
No, I know what you're talking about. There's songs like that too, and I mean that's why people will talk about. I don't know, because I think about that. Like think about like the Glorilla album versus the Sexy Red album.
Okay.
Which do you like more?
I like Sexy Red. Even though I think Glorilla had a great year.
She did have a great year, and I think there are a couple Glorilla singles I like. But the Sexy Red album is really doing like one thing. It's really like 12, 13, 14, whatever, however many songs of it. It's just straight, just like Southern, Midwest, just like bangers. While the
you're asking which album that I liked, but okay. I didn't hear the Sexy Red album.
You listened to Sex We Trust?
I did not listen. I listened to the first one, but I didn't hear the second one.
Yeah. Well, the second one's pretty similar to the first one. And
okay.
Like the way the structure is just like you remember the first one. It's just like every song is trying to be just like the loudest, crunkest hit. You know?
Yeah.
While the Glorilla album is kind of like doing like what you're talking about. There are a lot of like these like. There's songs like TGIF or on there or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're also like these really just like softer, like more personal songs on there. These songs that are trying to like switch up the tone, trying to make it that the whole album is not one thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the album is too conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It feels like it's trying to placate the type of thing you're saying right now, where they're like, oh, all of rap is like this right now. It used to be like this, so try to make an album that fits into that old mold of like what a rap album should be.
Well, you got to do it good. You can't just do it and then it's booty meat. Like, I'm not saying force yourself to do it is bad. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, shout out to the E for effort, but it's like if you didn't actually complete it, then I mean, like, you know, like that's not what I'm not just saying. People just should start doing it and start failing at it. It's like, no, I'm just saying that I just feel like when you listen to a lot of these street rappers, it's just kind of one thing, and you don't really get a lot of other things outside of that. Like, and that's why I say you said that like, oh, I'm naming the greats or whatever. I was like, bro, if you talk about like Louisiana from that point in time, all of them niggas had that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that's what you had to do. And then even going back, that's kind of what you had to do. You can't just be that one note nigga. It's like, okay, what else? What other bag do you have other than just that Tupac? You know, sure, I'm naming like niggas who are greats, but it's just like these niggas have multiple bags, and that's why they're the greats. It's like, do these niggas want to be one of the greats? You gotta have multiple bags.
Yeah, I feel like this just comes. We always circle back to this every year. This just comes from looking at rap less from like let's say we're just talking about the United States. This is one rap scene. It's more about looking at it like this is like a compilation of a bunch of different rap scenes.
Yeah.
And once you pay attention to like one specific rap scene, I think you find that like if you just pay attention to Detroit or whatever.
I was just gonna say they do that. Yeah, they
like,
do that.
If you listen to like a Babyface Ray album, there's gonna be all that going on what you're talking about. And some Babyface Ray albums are better than the others. Like the one this year I didn't really like that much, but they're doing that. If you go to Milwaukee, like somebody like Mula Mar or something is gonna drop like his album just talking shit. Then he's gonna drop his album of love songs. Then he's gonna drop his album of club songs. Then he's gonna drop, they still do that, and I think it's just like I feel like too often we talk about rap so big picture that we kind of like don't zero in on what's actually happening. And I'm not saying what you're saying is not true, especially when you look at it like that. Like there are like, I mean, look at my reviews. There's tons of bad shit. there's tons of bad shit out there, but I feel like once you zero in, you find way more interesting stuff, and you do find like that complexity that like these street rappers are talking about more, and they're doing more. Not saying they're not still talking about that shit too, but there are people that are doing interesting things, and even like the more you listen to somebody, you like pick up on their way of opening up, you know.
See, I'm gonna say the people you're naming, that's why I like them. That's why I like a Ray. That's why I like Detroit in general. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you a little bit more. Like that's why you like a nigga like Bodie James. He'll give you a little bit more than just one thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the people that you name, those are the people that I do zone in on, and that's the people that I like. You know, I just feel like you gotta. You know, I just wish it was more common. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like it's a sentiment that people like feel you on. I mean, I feel like that's why in the DMV they had a couple like breakout rappers this year, like Nino Payne and Jay Chino, who kind of took like that real hard like free car music sound, kind of like pulled in these strains of like pain rap into them, like that whole like Rod Wave generation, while still rapping on these beats, maybe a little bit more. The beats are a little bit softer and stuff like that. Somebody like KP Skywalker, who's like doing this kind of like romantic street rap sound, almost like how like those early Fabulous songs where Fabulous was like rapping with like Ashanti or whatever. And so there are people doing it. It's just a scene by scene thing. And I think when sometimes people who, when you're listening to, when you're like having your entryway into like a rap scene, you tend to just be fed like the most popular surface level stuff, and so they're like, oh, in Detroit they're doing the same thing as they're doing in DC. In DC they're doing the same thing as they're doing in Houston. You know, everybody's rapping the same thing. But the more you listen to these scenes and you go further into them, you're like, oh shit, there's like this pocket of street rappers, and there's this pocket of street rappers. There's this pocket of street rappers. There's so many different types of street rappers within these cities, and you know. I keep bringing up Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, they got like 3 different types of Milwaukee street rap, you know?
You know, I'll close this conversation out with 2 people. One person that I really wanted to be like big since I wish I knew at this time, because I was on this nigga like wave early. Finesse 2 Times. Finesse 2 Times was a street rapper I found out about because I was on Instagram in like 2018, and he was on my Explore page. And he was like a fat nigga in a tank top that was way too small for him, rapping. And I was like, let me click on this video. This nigga was rapping his behind off. And I was like, this is crazy. What is this? And I started digging this music. I'm like, oh, I'm finna interview this nigga. He get locked up. Come out. Cool to see what he's been doing. But that's like a really talented nigga. He could really rap. I don't know how much you ever heard of that nigga, but he could rap really well.
I heard him. He's one of the few Southern rappers you'll hear on the radio up here sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a nigga that like I can see a New York nigga being like, he dope, B. He dope, B. He can spit rhymes, B. I can see a New York nigga saying that.
Yeah, you know, like they still like people that feel like oh, he could really rap.
Yeah, he one of them niggas that can really rap. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, the last nigga I want to talk about, Rod Wave is kind of showing me maybe you can make the same song and be a superstar, you know? So maybe I'm just saying all this for no reason. Because Rod Wave is somebody who I think is immensely talented. Is he making the same song over and over again? He is. Do I want him to do more? I do. Willie, probably not. But shout out to Rod Wave.
I was telling somebody the other day that Rod Wave, Chip on My Shoulder, one of my favorite rap songs of like the last like 10 years.
So, nigga, how is that a rap song?
Maybe how's that Rod Wave is a rapper. You talking about how's that a rap song?
Remember I said I was trying to figure out like what you said that like I was like, bro, I dismissed you. Like, man, get this nigga out of here. You say stuff like this. No, bro, what are you talking about, bro? He's singing 95% of the time.
You consider Rod Wave a rapper?
Time out. Rather if I do or not. How is Chip on My Shoulder a rap song?
Bro, that's completely like some like sing rap shit.
He's singing over an acoustic guitar. How is that a rap song?
I mean, there's like No Cap and Rilo songs that's singing over acoustic guitars. That's rap.
He's singing, no auto-tune, no nothing. He's just singing.
So what do you call it? Just R&B?
I mean, that's not an R&B. He's singing over an acoustic guitar. That's an acoustic song.
See, I mean, when I write about Rod, I haven't written about Rod Wave in a while. I would always call it like this like bluesy type rap.
But he's.
I mean, it's all informed by rap. Like it's obviously pushed.
He's rap adjacent, and he can rap. Remember that one song I sent you where I was like, it's not that nigga woke up in his nightmare and ran to the booth in his drawers and started rapping? I don't know if you remember that song. He was rapping in that. He's rapping. But 90% of his songs, I got my heart on my sleeves. Like, it's nothing about that where he's he's singing. Like, he's a singer.
And then in the verse, he's going to start rapping. He's like,
that's how he sounded. Bro, he is singing. So you don't think he's a singer at all? Like, you would not classify him as a singer whatsoever?
No, I think I'll call him a rapper and a singer.
Sure. I will call him that too. He raps and sings, but primarily...
I think the foundation of it is rap.
I don't agree. I think that... What?
What is it influenced by?
I think that some of the beats may be hip-hop adjacent because they may have bass in them and stuff like that, for sure. And that's what I feel like is distracting you niggas because he's rapping, he's singing over songs that are like rap-adjacent beats. And that's his problem. Because Chip on My Shoulder is not rap at all. That's probably some white boy on a guitar playing a guitar.
It's like Rod Wave's manager trying to get him at the CMT Awards or something.
I don't think he needs to do that. But I think that Rod Wave need to tap in with like some Division niggas. He need to tap in with Division or something. Or he need to tap in with like a nigga that knows how to make like a R&B pop song at least. Because I think he could really open up another gear. Because when I heard Chip on My Shoulder, I'm like, bro, he's never did anything like this. This is straight up him singing over a guitar thing. Like, he is so talented. I wish he would branch out more. Because all the beats sound the same. It's produced by that one nigga where he go, pipe that shit up, TNT. Bro, I lose my mind when I hear that. But it's like, bro, how many times could this nigga be on one album? He just needs to do more. Like, I'll say this, and we can get off Rod Wave. His best, or one of my favorite albums by him is PTSD. Because on PTSD, he's doing things, he's rapping over, or he's not, now you got me saying he's rapping. He's singing over stuff that he doesn't do anymore. Like, this song right here, like, this is like a cool beat. Like, he wouldn't sing over a beat like this no more. That's it's a little vibey instead of him singing over like the piano pipe that shit up TNT. I need more stuff like No Love, man. Like, I like that.
I feel like people are. I'm not saying you're doing it, or maybe I am. Right. But
you are. I can already tell you are. But keep going.
I feel like people when you say something is rap that they don't believe is rap, they're almost like offended.
It's not that. It's just like, y'all say this about this man, but he's singing 90% of the time. How is this rap?
I'm telling you, the whole foundation of it is rap. It's like, bro, it's like influenced by like Kevin Gates and Boosie and all that shit.
But that's my point. Kevin Gates got songs where it's straight up country music, bro.
It is, but the appeal of it and what's interesting about it is that it's also not.
I hear you.
Is that like you're saying you want to hear the Rod Wave pop R&B song, and I do agree that all the Rod Wave songs sound the same now. But what's interesting about him is that he is rejecting that path to just be like a to be just like another pop R&B artist. It's still within that like rap sphere, you know what I'm saying?
And I think he can make that type of stuff and just over different production. That's all I want. I just want different production. I'm just getting tired of the same. Pipe that shit up, D&D. It's like, bro, come on, bro. Like that's like Laser Dim rapping over that little Glotza nigga beats or them chaotic ass beats. It's like, bro, please find another producer. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want that nigga to do, bro. Because I like Rod Wave. I think Rod Wave is very talented artist, but he just kind of gets stuck in the same thing sometimes. But people don't seem to be bothered by it. So who am I?
You're gonna be there's like you could be like one of those executives in like CB4 or something, or Fear of a Black Hat. Bro. You're like Rod Wave. I think you should make your music less black.
I'm telling you, bro. I've been telling niggas for the longest. There's certain artists, if you put me in a booth with them, or if you put me in the studio with them, I'm helping them make a classic album. Meg making a classic album if you put me in the studio with her. Wayne, give me 10 songs with Wayne. I'm having Wayne put out something crazy. Who else? Freaking.
The Rod Wave Division is a classic album.
I think if Rod Wave got on some Division,
OVO Rod.
Bro, OVO Rod, and he basically damn near is. If you give me Rod Wave over some Division type production, it's just 2 songs. I'm not even saying for the whole album, but for two songs, I bet you they're gonna be some of the best 2 songs on the album.
He probably picked the Division beats that sound the most like TNT beats.
Probably so. You know, or he would just. He would make that song. I was so mad at Division when they put out that Jermaine Dupri song. Oh, I was so mad at them, bro.
Rod Wave and Magic Jordan.
You playing, bro? That'd be crazy. You playing that would be crazy. You telling me you wouldn't want to hear them work with Rod Wave? Are you telling me you wouldn't be interested in that?
Not really.
You're just boring, bro. You're just boring, bro. Like. You're asleep, bro. They would have him over some probably some housey type interest and stuff or whatever. And I'm not saying he should just abandon what he doing, but just do something a little different. Because on PTSD he did a lot of different stuff, and I love that album.
You want Rod Wave's Honestly Nevermind?
Hey man, you know I think that album fire. So hey man, come on now.
Yeah, the best club and house producer in the world, DJ Carnage.
Come on now, man. You feel me, man? He got fucking DJ Carnage and fucking DJ, what's his name? DJ Snake. Hey, man. Hey, you gonna have me cooking up a classic. But all I'm saying is, Rod Wave, he was here yesterday, funny enough. That nigga had it swole.
For a second, I thought you meant in your crib.
Oh, yeah. Rod Wave at the crib. Bro, if Rod Wave was at my crib, bro, I'm telling you, I'll find out how to make beats myself that day and had that nigga going crazy, man. And it's funny because you making it seem like I'm that one nigga on Twitter that was like, we need the Young Thug Alchemist introspective album. You know what I'm saying?
You are like that, low key.
All right, bro. Anyways,
the best Migos song is the one produced by Alchemist.
Does that exist?
Yeah, there's a Migos Alchemist song.
Are you playing? Are you being funny?
I'm dead ass.
Are you tripping right now? That doesn't exist, nigga.
100%.
What Migos Alchemist songs is this?
So look, it says Jabroni. It says Mac Miller and Migos, produced by the Alchemist.
What? What does that sound like? This never came out or something?
Nah, it's definitely out.
Yeah, this sounds crazy, nigga. What?
That's what Twitter wants.
I'm gonna listen to that when we off here. I did not know that existed. That is very interesting. One of my favorite Migos songs, funny enough, is them rapping over a West Coast beat. I don't know what song it is, but you remember they or at least Quavo. I think it was Quavo or the Migos. They rapped over like a 90s G-funk type of beat.
Really,
very fire. But shout out to the Migos. But it's so funny. Like I said, we are some yappers, as they say. We've talked about 2 topics and went a very long time. You want to go straight into the albums? What do you want to do?
Yeah, artists.
Or straight into the artists. Yeah. I'm about to say, because we really actually talked about. You know what? I did want to speak on this. This would be a kind of small one. You were talking about Florida rap, and you were saying that sometimes you talk to me and you're like, oh man, like you got like a new perspective. Who have you been listening to from Florida this year?
I mean, we could talk about it within the list. I got two
Got some
Florida.
Florida dudes. Okay,
I
okay,
got,
okay.
I got two. They're really big ones, but they're like the two that I feel like I listened to a lot this year.
All right, all right.
I'll start it off at 10 then.
All right, bet go.
We're just talking about like the artists that I feel like find that year, and I'm gonna start off with Boss Man D-Lo, just because I feel like I don't really know like your real take on Boss. I feel like you're like, because sometimes with the Florida stuff, I almost feel like you're like numb to it.
Explain.
I don't know if that's true. Of where maybe you're so around it that it takes a lot to impress you, and I'm more easy. And I feel like even when I bring up like the fast music stuff to you, you're like, oh, you like that? I guess.
No, I like fast music.
Not that you don't like it, but it's like not. I feel like it's not that special to you. It's because it's just like that's like always been here. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you.
So,
I've heard it for all my life, so yeah, sure.
Yeah, and so I hear it. I'm like, yo, like on my Pitchfork list, I think my number 3 rap album of the year was like this, like Lil Shimmy, Zombieland 2, the DJ Fetty Feet version, and to me, I'm listening to that. I'm like, yo, this shit's crazy. And maybe to like somebody from Florida, they're just like, yeah, it's just another fast album. Like they like it, but it's just like another in the churn. But to me, I'm like, yo, this shit's wild. And so I wanted to know if do you think that's a true reading or not?
A true reading that. What exactly? Like
that you're so used to it that you're less impressed by just like.
I don't know if less impressed is the word. It's more so like, let's say if I took you to like, there's this place in the hood called Holly's. Let's say if I took you to Holly's. Holly's is good. I've had Holly's. I like Holly's. I've had it plenty of times. So I'm like, but it's junk good. But you like, dog, this is amazing. You're like, this is the best food I ever had. I done had it 13 times. It's your first time having it. It's just normal to me. So it's like, yeah, it is good. Like, you going crazy right now. So it's almost like, you know, when you see something for the first time, you got like a crazy reaction to it, but your homie done seen it a billion times or whatever. I think it's kind of like that. It's like, yes, I really like this. It's just, it's so kind of still newer to you. So you just have a much more like kind of crazy reaction than I do because I've seen it 1,000 times. It's like seeing a nigga get crossed over for the first time. It's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But I've seen that clip 1,000,000 times already. It's like, it's like still good. I just done seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I feel like that about Boss Man D-Lo. I mean, I like both the tapes. Mr. Beat the Road is cool. I mean, I'm less like a fan of the tapes and more just like individual songs. I mean, obviously, Get In With Me. There's a couple songs in the new one, D-Lo Curry, that I've been playing a lot. The one's called like Pushing It or something like that. And yeah, I mean, I just think he's like the funniest rapper out.
No, for sure. I've been saying for the longest. He's hilarious.
It's like, he really has 3 things he raps about. Just like eating out, driving cars so fast that he might die, and like NBA players that he compares to like his like money. And he manages to always make it sound hilarious. And
there's one thing he has that a lot of these rappers don't have is charisma. He has a lot of charisma. Like, that nigga damn near, I've been saying, like, bro, that nigga get in the booth and turn to Bruce. That nigga turns like a stand-up comedian, bro. Like, that nigga there is like, you know what I'm saying? That nigga there get the comically just be hilarious. But, no, I like, bro. I love Boss Man. What you gonna say?
I mean, you're saying that he gets to this booth and sounds like a comedian. But that's really like an old school thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when you listen to some of those rappers from maybe the 80s, early 90s or something, they were so influenced by 70s culture, 70s stand-up culture. Like, you could hear that charisma, that like character work in their music, and D-Lo does that too, you know?
No, for sure. You could hear it. And he's like a slick talking ass nigga like them too. Like, he'll say something like, what he said on I think it was the intro, he said he had to put some gloves on when I'm touching dog shit. Like, just the way he said it, yeah, he has so much charisma. And like, I like rappers with charisma. Like, if you listen to like my favorite rappers of all time, they're all like very charismatic people. Like, Ghostface Killah is one of my favorite of all time. Very charismatic individual. Redman, super duper charismatic individual. Also, Redman, Method Man, and Raekwon did like a freestyle. I think it might have been like a Red Bull thing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to them niggas.
That's the only time I ever heard you speak positively about New York rap. Yeah.
All right, bro. As much as I have the attitude I have towards New York, I like battle rap, nigga. So I gotta like New York. You feel me? It's like y'all. I got a love-hate relationship with y'all niggas because, like, bro, some of my favorite rappers of all time from New York: Mos Def, Wu-Tang niggas, all of them. Ka, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Ka. You feel me, man? So I love New York hip hop. Previous New York hip hop. I don't know about now. I don't know what y'all niggas got going on right now, but I love previous New York hip hop. Yeah. But also before I say my rapper, I just laugh because niggas said I think Xavier Leggett is playing up his countryness. That's so funny. Nigga think Xavier Leggett doing a bit. You're hilarious, man. Let's see. So this is not in order, I'm not going to lie. I'm just naming people that I really been rocking with this year. And I'll start with a rapper from Florida as well. One of my favorite rappers of all time, Mr. Rob Banks. Don't shake your head. Rob Banks has had a hell of a year this year. Put out 2 really good albums. I Think I Might Be Happy Part 1 and Part 2. He put out, what was it, 5-6 Degrees. It's a single produced by freaking, my brain has just been going out. Sango is a dog. I don't know how you feel about Sango, but I love Sango. And
I used to like Sango back in like the peak Soulection days.
Yeah, he's been cooking with these Rob Banks beats recently. Super duper fire beats. But yeah, I think it might be Happy Part 1 and Part 2. It's almost like Rob has like found a second wind. He's rapping like some of the best I've heard him rap in years. And yeah, man, Rob Banks is definitely one of my favorite artists of 2024 by far.
I feel like it was Rob Banks who earlier this year, he put out some stuff with Tony Snow, right?
That was last year.
That was last year?
Yeah.
But I feel like when that came out, it had me revisiting like Rob Banks, The City and stuff like that. And honestly, that better than I remember. I remember when The City came out. I feel like it must have been like 2015 or something like that.
13.
13. And I remember that's about like when I started to check out on him. I was like, oh, this is not as good as Calendars. But he is an interesting rapper, even though you ride for him more than anybody on earth. I don't think Shaggy rides for him.
That's my guy, man. That's one of my favorite rappers ever, dog. I love Rob, bro. Shout out to Rob, man.
Shaggy's like, damn, that hurricane really love you.
That's so funny. You said my name like Uncle John. Every time I spoke to Uncle John on the phone the other day, and he'd be like, "It's my man Erg, it's my man Erg, the God, it's my man Erg." That's the way you just said my name. You said Erg. That's so funny.
I feel like I don't fully enunciate sometimes.
Erg.
Let me see who else I got on here. I'll stick with Florida. Somebody who I just mentioned, Lil Shimmy.
Mm.
I think Zombieland 2 is so good. The beats are so kind of jazzy and groovy, like some like real just like you play it on, just want to like kick back type shit. And lyrically, it's like this real balance of like talking shit, but like in a smooth way. And also, there's like some real like emotional, drug fueled pain rap going on too. Then he put out Nardy World, which I like a little bit less than Zombieland 2, but also just like a strong ass album. There's even features I like. He just put out this one with Hurricane Wisdom called Salute. He's on this song by, have you heard this rapper from South Florida? His name is 40.
Mm-mm.
Like FFAWTY.
No.
He's
How
actually
you spell it?
FFAWTY.
How do you pronounce that?
I think it's 40. But
I'm assuming it's 40. Like somebody saying like 40, but he's saying 40. Like a country way to say it.
He's from St. Thomas though. Like he got like a strong ass accent and everything.
Gotcha.
but he lives in like Miami or something. And Shimmy has a song with him, and I mean, I just feel like he's one of the best rappers of the year. I feel like I'm surprised I guess because it's a little bit more southern tinge, but it almost reminds me like a southern tinge V's a little bit. Just like the wispiness of the flow and how like it's kind of croaky but really light. Yeah, are you a Shimmy like fan?
Bro, I'm the reason niggas know who Lil Shimmy is, bro. Remember I told you that recently, bro.
You mean Lamar Jackson?
No, yeah, me and Lamar Jackson are responsible for Lil Shimmy. But no, I'm pretty sure like I'm the first nigga to interview Lil Shimmy. So yes, I am a Lil Shimmy fan. I was telling Lil Shimmy, it's funny enough, not to brag, but when I interviewed Lil Shimmy, he was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna continue to rap or not. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I don't know, it's just not really for me. I was like, bro, let me give you motivation. I get a nigga like a Ray Lewis speech. Like, I was like, bro, you need to stay in it. Hey, man, my boy kept going, man. So now I rock with Lil Shimmy. Now, do you agree with this? Similar to Rod Wave, he is also a singer and a rapper.
I mean, less so than Rod Wave, but I think on Zombieland too, I was talking to Marlon about this actually, and I was like, it is like some sort of like pop R&B hybrid thing going on there. Like he's pushing the sound so far that it's basically in that lane.
Lil Shimmy has songs that are straight up not like hip hop or R&B. Like he has songs that are I would not put in any of those categories. He has a song called Ecstasy. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. That's not a rap or R&B song. That is like a pop song, like just straight up pop.
Yeah, even the song, like he has a song on Zombieland too, called "Drugs." That's almost like drumless, and it's just like him in like this falsetto. It's almost like this like '80s kind of like funk song, which could bring me to the. I don't know if you want to pivot like that, but could bring me to like the album that you told me to listen to.
I was gonna say we probably need to pause and do that. I kind of forgot about that till you start talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure.
You told me to listen to this album by Grande Mahogany. And that little Shimmy song made me think of it because it is like this like pulling from like I think in my blurb pitchfork that I wrote I was like it makes me feel like I'm in like a Miami Vice scene. But that Grande Mahogany album that you told me to listen to is pulling from it's called As Grande As, and it's pulling from a similar sound. A sound that I think is like pretty popular right now. Like I first clicked play on the album. I was like, yo, did this dude just send me some Tizo touchdown shit? But I think it's a lot more like thought out than that. A lot more it feels like less like straight up just homage and more like he's kind of doing his own thing within it. There's a lot of like cool guitar riffs. There's parts of it where he's like diving into like some reggae dancehall vibes. Sometimes his voice reminds me of like Ezra from Vampire Weekend or some shit like that. And I really fuck with it. And I was surprised I hadn't heard it because it feels like a sound that a lot of people would gravitate to right now. From even some of like the major stars like Childish Gambino, Victoria Monet. I feel like Janelle Monáe are all like artists that are like pulling from like a similar bag, but he really seems to be like deep in it.
There's no reason for you to like know about him. He's not a big artist.
Yeah, but I was just surprised that like
that he's not bigger.
That a lot of the crowds that seem to be like really responding to like that sound haven't like been drawn to that, and so
he's also not American.
Yeah, I was looking at stuff like Helsinki.
Yeah, he's from like Finland or something. So, like the only reason I ever told you how I found out about bro?
No.
I was trying to interview this singer named James Vincent McMorrow. He's like the singer, and I'm trying to find like his like people email, and I stumbled on Instagram across that page, Grande Mahogany, and I thought it was like a 70s. I thought it was like a tribute page to a 70s artist who had died. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, they like showing love to like a, you know what I'm saying, dead dude. And I'm looking, I'm like, nah, this is like a current artist. Like, bro is like alive. So I like started listening to his music, and bro had like 200 followers. And I DM'd him, and I'm like, bro, this is the best thing I've like, I've like heard. Like, this is crazy. So when he dropped his album, when he started dropping singles to the album, I never hit this dude up for anything. But I was like, nah, I need to get this dude some exposure. So I hit up Fantano, and I told him like, hey, you should listen to this album, or you should listen to this guy. And he started listening. He was like, no, this is crazy. And he reviewed the album, and he started getting some followers off of that. So I do think the Fantano review was like helping him. But before that, yeah, bro was like, he didn't really have like a lot of followers before that Fantano review.
Yeah, you casually DMing Fantano?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know him.
From what?
Oh, like 2013, I followed bro on Instagram, and he followed me back. And I posted something funny that day, and he was like, he DM'd me, he was like, I knew I followed you for a reason. And I was like, what? I was like, what? And he was like, yo, you're hilarious. I want you to do like some outro videos for my reviews. Like when he do that like transition. It was like a few reviews where he did like the transition, and it did like transition to me, and I was basically just like telling jokes at the end of the thing or whatnot. And he was like, yo, do that for like a few of my videos. And just ever since then, like I put out a mixtape. He's on my mixtape. I did a mixtape with Nate number 8. I've told you about him before. We did a mixtape about big girls when we were in high school, and I got him like on that mixtape. And I'm on his album, the Couch Chester album that he put out. I'm on that. So yeah, I've known bro for like a decade. It's random, right?
That's very funny. But no, I was listening to his album. I was listening to it yesterday and today, and I was just like, I'm not really into it.
Yeah, hey, shout out to me for putting you on. It don't happen a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't put you on somebody.
Especially, and it's a sound that I'm like always like instantly like skeptical of, just because of like everything around it right now, and everything pulling from. I mean, you can even look at something like Sabrina Carpenter, like Espresso or something, like where obviously it's nowhere near as funky as this shit, but it's still like pulling it from like this like foundation.
I interviewed him, and he said that most of that album was recorded in like 4 or 5 years ago. So he said all those songs are really old. He just had to put them out somewhere. So like the sound that he's working on right now sounds completely different. So I'm interested to see like where he goes next, if that's not even like the sound that he's currently on. So should be interesting. Shout out to Grande. Now for you, Astrid Sun. That's the album that you told me to listen to. I like that album. That's fire. The freaking Give My All, that's my favorite song. She was sliding on that Give My All. I think that's the
that's the main reason why I sent you. That's like one of my 3 favorite songs of the year.
Really? You like that? Nah, that Give My All is hard. She was sliding on that Give My All. It was an interesting sound. I was like, I know her from somewhere. You know who label, or you know who she signed on the label with? Freaking the nigga Elias whatever his name is. Elias whatever.
Your boy.
Yeah. Ice Age boy. They signed on the same thing, and his label followed me on Instagram, and they were DMing me, and I had looked on their page, and I had seen her name but didn't even connect it that I was the same person. I'm like, oh, she signed on the same label as Elias. So Give My All is fire. Say You Love Me is really hard too. That was one of my favorites. I liked her singing voice. I like that, like, it's not like a one note album. Like, she's doing different sounds. She's like trying a lot of different things. But yeah, Give My All. It took me a minute to get past that because I kept replaying it. I was like, this is really, really fire.
Nah, yeah, I feel like every time I play the album, I never get by that. And I feel like she's the one I like the most. I feel like even working at Pitchfork, I feel like I come across this type of stuff. Especially like this wave of Danish, Copenhagen-based singer producers are like coming out right now, like is that how you pronounce it? And like RCA and stuff like that. Who that crowd is really enthusiastic about. But this is the one of all that's grabbing them. Kind of like really soft and emotional. And I feel like I like shit that's like kind of like a little bit melancholy, but also a little bit romantic. And like you said, it's a short album, but it feels longer because I keep playing the songs that I like just like over and over again.
No, She's super duper fire. Shout out to Astrid. Am I saying it right? Astrid Sun.
Yeah.
She's hard. All right, so I guess it's on me since we took that little brief intermission of my next artist because you said yours was Lil Shimmy, right?
Yeah.
Fire. Shout out to Lil Shimmy. All right, I guess we're doing rappers still. I guess I'll say somebody who I mentioned earlier, El Custo. El Custo is somebody who I've listened to a lot this year. Like I said, somebody who kind of defined 2024 for me because he's a breath of fresh air. It's not too many people that sounds like him. Like niggas in the DMV, they be calling themselves janky ass niggas for whatever reason. I'm a janky ass nigga. I said that he kind of sounds like Playboy Cardi if Playboy Cardi identified as a janky ass nigga. Like they do similar vocal inflections if you realize it. Like when on Camel Socks when he's like 100,000 now rolling, I got 100,000. Like that sound like Playboy Cardi when he's trying to do his deep voice. Or even some of his albums, he's like yeah. Like they just all they have similar vocal inflections, and I love this album. This album has so many fire songs. Prostitution, funny enough, is a song that I would love to hear Rob Banks rap over. Love that beat. I would love to hear my guy Rob over that. I was just thinking that today. What else is on this freaking album? I absolutely love Camel Socks, like I said. Red Lines is so fire. Nigga was rapping really well. Of course, everybody know Words to Live By. That 5 a.m. NHB is so hard. That's that you hear me babe, you hear me pimp, you hear me babe, you hear me pimp, you hear me babe, you hear me pimp. Love that. Taught Her That is fire. I mean, this entire thing, bro. Love this album. He has such a unique sound. El Custo taking over 2025.
Yeah, he does have a unique sound. Really cool voice. I think I was probably introduced to him on that album last year, Dirty Harry.
Same.
I feel like with him, the songs be like hit or miss for me, but like the ones that I like really like and just like play over and over. Obviously, you mentioned this in the bar, that verse, one of the rap verses of the year. And this one I like too. I think I like Dirty Harry a little bit more, just probably because it caught me off guard, and I was just like, "Yo, what is going on here?" It has this DMV connection, but also it's like kind of like out there. But yeah, cool rapper, especially. That whole like orbit around like Mike and 10K is like full of cool rappers. So he's another one.
Shout out to bro.
Yeah. Next, I'll go to TDF as a producer. I feel like you were kind of roasting these kind of beats when you were making fun of Laser Dim. But TD, not that Laser Dim has rapped any TDF beats, but TDF is this producer from Minneapolis. He put out this album in December of last year that I've kind of just been considering a 2024 album called Blueprint. And then that has like a bunch of different rappers on it, from like Osama Son to Che to like a couple of like up and coming rappers like OK Mar and Osanta. Kind of like one of those rap producers that just have like these really just like blown out 808s, but also I feel like sometimes with those beats, like some of the ones that Laser Dim raps over, it could just be straight up noise. But I feel like he balances it with like this like airy kind of like magical Pierre Bourne influence spice to it that I think really shows out on Blueprint. And yeah, I think it's just like one of the best producers of the year that like whenever I see his name pop up on SoundCloud, I'm clicking on it.
TDF. When you said I thought you were talking about TF for a second. You know who that is?
TF.
The rapper, the West Coast nigga. He like TDE adjacent almost. He was on Schoolboy Q Blankface album. Either way, he's like he's like a rapper.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
You've never heard of TF? He's like a rapper. I like TF, but I thought that's what you were talking about at first. But no, I've never heard of TDF.
No, there's no TDE affiliates on my
Nigga, anti TDE. I'm looking him up right now. All right, I'll check this out. I mean, Yeah, these rapper names are insane. Like this is like really like some Gen Z ass rapper names on this Blueprint project. But I'll check it out. Nigga name being Osama son is hilarious. Like I know who that is, but that's just a funny name.
That should be your next interview. Do the Osama son interview.
I can only imagine what Osama son music sound like.
You never heard it?
Never heard Osama son.
I mean, I don't think you'd be that surprised. It's kind of like in the opium umbrella.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you, brother. I'm gonna leave that to you, brother.
I knew anti opium.
Yeah.
Opium's ruining rap.
When I broke that down, when I was like Playboy Cardi's killing hip hop, I was more so saying like kind of the copy Carbon thing, where it's just niggas that just sound straight up like him, and it's just like not saying Opium is like that, but just how many young niggas is gonna sound like Opium in the next 2 years? I'm not ready for that at all.
I mean, it's already happening.
Exactly.
Go on SoundCloud. There's mad people that sound like Opium.
Goodness gracious.
You can say Yeet.
Sure.
The whole wave of like everybody that came after Yeet sounds like Opium.
Sure. See, hey, you know somebody who don't sound like nobody? My guy, Bilal. That's my artist I'm going to talk about. The singer Bilal. Bilal is one of one. Love Bilal. Interview Bilal this year. It's been an interview I've been trying to do for forever. I told you that he dropped some hidden knowledge in the interview saying that freaking Madlib was working on an AI jazz album. But Bilal this year has dropped 2 albums. He dropped a live album where some of the songs on that album, it's a live album with him, Robert Glasper, and Questlove. Is like they're all like doing a live instrumentation. But then, like I said, on that album, he also performed a lot of songs from his second album that got shelved by the label. So people just been wanting that like on streaming, and he performed some songs from that. So that was pretty cool. But he dropped an official album, Adjust Brightness, which is so fire. I would describe this album as if Adjust Brightness sounds like if Dune was like colored only. It's like a colored only Dune. It was like if you was watching Dune, but it was only niggas. That's what Adjust Brightness sounds like to me. It kind of has that like Dune atmosphere, sandy type of sound, and he always sounds unique. Like he doesn't sound like anybody. The way he sings, it's very very different. And yeah, man, Adjust Brightness was one of my favorite albums by far. Such a good album. So shout out to him for dropping the Colored Only Dune album.
I didn't even know Bilal dropped twice this year.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Bilal.
I mean, that's a legend right there.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of a live album, I guess I'll go to an artist I played a lot this year, Jeff Parker. He has this album. He has this live album with this band that's composed of like Hannah Butters and Josh Johnson called The Way Out of Easy. I feel like just in general, just playing a lot of Jeff Parker's music, just like on my downtime. He has an album from a couple years ago called what's it called? For Folks. He has another one called Sweet for Max Brown. And yeah, just a long time jazz adjacent artist. Used to be in the band Tortoise. Are you familiar with Tortoise?
No, I was finna disrespect, man. I was finna be like, you getting your real white hipster bab. I looked up. This is a brother. This is a black man.
No, yeah, he is. You ever listen to Two Hollis?
I've seen that name before.
He's like a white rapper. He opened for the Ken Carson tour, actually, speaking of Opium. And his dad's in Tortoise, actually, the band.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, this like live Jeff Parker album is just like, it's like the kind of album you put on, you just feel like you're there. There's 4 songs. They're all like pretty long, like really improvisatory, but also still feeling really connected, and you never feel like lost. Just cool music.
All right. I'm gonna check this one out. I like this. This is interesting. I guess kind of in that vein of somebody who has a famous father. You're saying Two Hollis. You said Two Hollis' father was in the band. Fabiana Palladino.
Damn. I know people are riding for her this year.
Are you anti Fabiana Palladino or something right now?
I'm like kind of indifferent. She's of the Paul Institute, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That album, self-titled, it's, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's a great album. That is, boy, freaking Closer, the way she starts it off. Closer, I'm getting closer. Alright, no, my mind. It's a freaking fire album. Every song on there is amazing. I was blown away by the first time I heard it. Sachi, funny enough, put me on that album. Man, and I think you and him also. I feel like I'm very iffy on y'all niggas on recommendations, but boy, he hit on that. And shout out to Sachi for that recommendation, because that is one of my, that is, boy, it is special. Her father played bass on, played bass on D'Angelo's album Voodoo. Just, I mean, chef's kiss, brother. Love that album.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike it. I just feel like I don't know if it's as soulful as everybody's saying it is.
Man, it's up there, man.
I don't know if it's like hit me in that way, where I'm like, oh, this is like kind of impressive. She got a cool voice. The beats are nice, but it hasn't hit me in a way that sends me over the top, you know.
Give it another spin, brother. Great album.
Somebody that I know you like, I'll mention, is Chanel Beats. The album he put out this year is just another one that just like I feel like a lot of the artists that I feel like define my year are just the ones that I just like throw on whenever I'm just the albums that I just like live with, and I feel like a lot of his music it's kind of like a little spacey, a little like I wouldn't call it slow. I feel like a lot of the songs are pretty varied. And even just me digging through like his SoundCloud page, I know there was one song you sent me earlier this year that it was like a 50-second song, and I was just like, damn, I wish this was longer. But yeah, I was just going through a lot of like Lucy's on the SoundCloud, combining that with the album. It was just like really cool, just like this like live-ish electronic dance music that I feel like is very like kind to somebody who with like the ears for hip hop.
Yeah.
If it feels like he's somebody that has listened to a lot of rap, even if the music isn't rap, and I always respond to that.
You know, shout out to him for helping me. He done helped me get some white interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like freaking, what's that one PR company? I feel like I didn't interview anybody on their list until I got that interview. What's that? Pitch Perfect PR.
Yeah.
I think that's how I got the Elias one. It was like, man, I seen the Chanel Beats one. Like this was super duper dope. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him, get me in the white world. You know what I'm saying, man? I got some cool interviews. Like the dude, even though he's mixed. You know, Daryl Johns.
Yeah.
Interviewed him because that's like, hey, shout out to Chanel Beads, got your boy popping. You know what I'm saying, man? Shout out to Chanel Beads. But he's hard though. Chanel Beads is really hard. Shout out to him. You know, the next person I want to do, probably not in your list, but we should do this on this one. Remember you were saying the old album that you found out about this year that you've been playing a lot.
Oh yeah.
So that person's actually, this album came out in 2006, but it's defined by 2024.
Really?
Yes. Like he's in my top 5 listened to most artists just off of that album. So I don't know if I'm breaking the rules with that, but this album did not come out this year. He didn't put out anything this year. He put out a song with Snoop Dogg this year, but that's it. So I don't know if you know where I'm going with this. I doubt you do.
No.
We are back. Everything is good. But yeah, boy, when I played this album so many times and this artist, and that person is Mr. Sleepy Brown. Boy, Sleepy Brown. I've always liked Sleepy Brown, but I had a chance to interview Sleepy Brown. So let me do even more research. Bro, his album Mr. Brown that came out in 2006, one of Bro, that might be one of the most underrated things from that time period, bro. That album is so good. He sounds like a damn near like a 70s singer put on like modern beats for that time. And it makes sense because do you know who his daddy is?
No.
Hey man, his daddy is the lead singer of Brick. You may be asking, what's Brick? What do they sing? They sing multiple things. One of the things they sing is freaking ain't gonna hurt nobody to get on down. They sing freaking this right here. The everybody go on. Like so his dad like a legend, you know what I'm saying? So he got that type of like 70s swag to him, but it's over these beats from that time period, and he is singing so well on his entire album. Like that album is great. Like I would say perfect. That's a perfect album. If you want to ask me what's a perfect album, flawless, I would say that album. Not a one skippable song on that album, and it's one of my most listened to albums by far.
I never heard that. I used to love Sleepy Brown as a kid. Like when he would pop up on like some like Outkast shit or something like that.
The song he has with them, he has a song, I can't wait. That's on that album. That's the outro. Such a good song. Ooh, baby, that's such a fire song.
Yeah, I mean the older album I heard for the first time this year was Have you ever listened to the? I feel like I've been screaming about this album to anybody that would listen to me all year.
Real quick, before you get into this, I do want to say this. I had to bring this up because I've been thinking this question for almost a decade. I asked Sleepy Brown about Young Thug I thought Young Thug like dissing him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Young Thug bar where he say, I'm up to Sleepy Brown, wouldn't talk to him about shit. I was like, was that a diss? He was like, no, man. I felt very good getting the answer about that because I was like, what did Sleepy Brown do to that nigga? He wouldn't talk to him about shit. But shout out to Sleepy Brown. Anyway, what album are you talking about?
Have you listened to the UK rapper Nines?
No, I have not listened to UK rapper Nines.
Yeah. Well, I feel like early this year, I just went down like a UK road rap wormhole, and I was just listening to like everything I could find from like Young's Teflon to like Crepton Conan or whoever, and I ended up listening to From Church Road to Hollywood, which is kind of like this Nines album from like 2012 that basically just sounds like some like 2000s, like the 2000s New York shit I grew up on, but it's like instead of it taking place in like Harlem or Queens or wherever, it's in like some random places I don't know in like the UK. And he has like this really just like under his breath, chill, laid back flow, and kind of just like is like a pretty good storyteller. Has like these like kind of like slurred, drunken melodies that feel a little like Max B-ish. That kind of blew my mind when I heard it. I was like, I had no idea they were making music that sounded like this in the UK at any point in time. And so, I mean, if you ever get a chance, listen to that. I don't know if you'll like it. It might just be like some like UK New York connection type shit.
I was gonna say I'm not the biggest UK rap not aficionado, but UK rap enthusiast. So
Yeah,
I like Skepta and Dave.
That's it.
I like Skepta and Dave. They're good. So Dizzy Rascal can rap. So
Dizzy Rascal. But nah, if you get a chance, listen to From Church Road to Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think you might at least be like intrigued by it.
All right. You're still going because remember Sleepy Brown was on my actual list.
Yeah, I guess while I'm talking about New York, I'll go on my like New York run right now and just be a homer. I guess I mentioned Max B before, so I'll talk about Baby Osama, who has his album called Sexy Summer, where she even has a song that she flips Max B. Really just like a really cool rapper with a lot of just like different styles. She could make like, she's from the South Bronx. She could make like some really just like light plug-in B type songs. The Sexy Summer Songs is really like in that whole like Cash Cobain style, that of like that sexy drill. She has a couple like songs that are like borderline R&B. Some songs that sound like they're like fucking Griselda or some shit. And it's really just like a grab bag of her just trying shit out, having fun with the music, which is really like the type of stuff I respond to. Is just like people just like trying shit out.
Yeah.
And also it's just like mad New York. I remember I wrote a profile of her this summer. We did it at Mike's festival in Brooklyn. And I like traveled. I like spent the day with her, just like traveling to that show, and the whole trip there, all we were listening to is just Max B, Stack Bundles, like those like Jadakiss, just straight up, just like New York shit through and through. And yeah, I mean, have you heard her at all?
No, I was gonna say I know the name. Never actually listened to. Didn't even know Baby Osama was a woman. I thought Baby Osama was like a little boy. But ain't that Didi Osama?
That's Didi Osama.
Okay. But I have heard her name before though. All right, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. I'll keep the women train going. Next person on this is Woochie Wobbler. No, I'm like Woochie Wobbler.
Bro, the Woochie Wobbler tape is hard. I don't know what your problem is with it.
That's an inside joke with me and Alphonse. Shout out to Woochie Wobbler though. But it is a woman, huh?
You don't like the Woochie Wobbler tape.
Hey man, I never say anything bad about Woochie Wobbler, man. I don't lie when I speak about Woochie Wobbler. Let's put it like that. So
me neither.
All right. Anyway, my artist, who's a woman that I'm going to talk about, is freaking. I make you wanna dance and I make you wanna I make you wanna go away, darling. No need to run. Do you know singing?
I have no idea singing. It's like you sing like SWV.
Hey, it's a white woman. She was jamming though, man. That's that Claro, man. That's that Claro, man. Hey, Claro was singing on that song, on that whole album. Have you heard that album?
No, I have heard it. It's good.
So that was my first time ever listening to Claro. You know, I'll be late on the white people stuff, bro. I'll be late on a lot of white people things. Claro, I was super late. She's fire though, man. Absolutely love her. I didn't know she was cooking like that. I was hip to. She had a little band that was running for like they got like 3 songs. And they disappeared. But other than that, no idea who she was. I had no idea of her music, what it sounded like. But this album is amazing. I know a lot of people are saying like in the future people probably gonna like sample stuff from this album, which I could definitely hear. But yeah, man, absolutely love this album. This is I was late to the party, but I'm here now.
Nah, yeah, I do think it's her best album to date.
Okay.
I think there are 2 others before this. I know. I remember Immunity when it came out. I forgot the one that's in between that. And I mean, there's songs I like off this too. That's Sexy to Someone. Thank You. Yeah, she's a cool singer. I'm not surprised I mixed it up. I was like, oh, you singing SWV? Because unlike the Fabiana Palladino, there is some soul to this one that to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
you know, I'll say this. I'll leave a little gem for people to go back and listen to. So I was singing the song "Wanna." I think that's how you say it. Go listen to that song, and then I want you to listen to the outro on Kent James' last album. And you cannot convince me that somebody didn't hear Taj Mahal and say, "Damn, this kind of sounds similar." Like, damn, let's make a version of this. It sounds so similar, bro. Which is funny to think that Claro's listening to Kent James, but yeah, great song.
Yeah. I'll keep my New York wave going. Right. I know you're anti-drill. I know you want to ban it, lock them.
I turn to Mayor Adams when I hear drill music, man.
Yeah. But I'm gonna pick 41, which is this group composed of like Kyle Rich, Jen Carter, and Tata. They put out an album last year that I didn't really like, but I just think they're just like the best consistent single makers in New York rap right now. They just like every couple of weeks, couple of months, you could like count on them just having like a song that you hear everywhere and you're actually like not mad at it. I know earlier this year they had that song with Eneli Choppa, that like Or What song. They've had what other songs they've had they have this new one. I forget the name of this new. Oh, it's called Vibes with Kyle Rich and Jen Carter. And yeah, they're just like really good drill rappers that also make like really fun party music. And I feel like a lot of drill rappers haven't really found that lane like they have, able to like go back and forth. Like there's this other song that they have from this year called Beckham with Kyle Rich and D Bills. And yeah, just like strong rappers that just make fun music that's like also pulling from like different types of club sounds and dance music. So yeah.
This might be bad TV, but I just don't have nothing to say. I mean, that's good for them. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to 41, man. I'm glad they're alive and healthy, man. Good for them, man. Good for them, man.
You hate New York and drill.
Yeah, I told you, bro. I turn into y'all mayor when I hear drill music, bro.
Have you not heard any 41 songs?
I've seen the name. Shout out to them, man. You know what I have heard, though, man?
Just bumping Golden Boy and locking everything out.
Man, I don't know if I want to say this publicly, man, but I haven't really listened to Golden Boy this year, man, and it's for a reason. Golden Boy, I think voice might be a little shot. His voice sounds different. Like, it sounds like he's like, it's like a nigga who's yelled too much and kind of like losing their voice. Like, if you listen to him rap, his voice is much different from the Chicken Man series. Like, he's like sounding like he's like losing his voice now, and it's kind of distracting a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that much this year either. I honestly listened to Lanaya West more.
Really?
she got a couple songs I like.
Shout out to Lanaya West. All right.
You got the shadiest laugh. you think you're being like polite.
You're so funny. I like Lanaya West, nigga. I was laughing because my homie Rari discovered who was saying this one part on this Golden Boy song we like. It was this thing that came out like a few years ago that nigga was saying like Golden Boy was like 40 years old, like, and like he was hiding his age, and he put out a song like responding to it, and this is part in the song where the girl say, "Chicken Man, can you tell a bitch your real age?" And we always like say that part, and he was like, "I actually think that was her," and I was like, "I do think that was her too." So when you said that, it just made me think about that. So shout out Lanaya West, man. He said, "Chicken Man, can you tell a bitch your real age?" And he said, "Broke bitch, I'm a P on 448." Shout out to Golden Boy, man. You made me, I gotta go back and listen to some old Golden Boy, man. But you know who I have listened to this year?
Who?
Hey man, Tyrese.
Now Tyrese star in 1992.
You feel me? I was about to say, I know that was your movie, man. Tyrese, dog. That nigga put out, in my opinion, one of the best R&B albums in a very long time. And Tyrese, that's a brother that probably needs some therapy. That's a nigga that obviously ain't all the way there. I seen that nigga on Twitter. He put out like a 50-minute video where he had like that nigga had like a Lionel Richie wig on. And he was like, "They don't want me to talk about it, but I'm finna talk about it." And I don't know what he talked about for 50 minutes. I didn't hear it. I'm pretty sure somebody did. But, hey, man, somebody go check on Tyrese, man. Because that album is very sad, but it is amazing. So, hey, man, love Tyrese, and I love that album.
Yeah, I love some anti-child support music.
Hey, man, that's essentially what's going on right there, man. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say Usher got an anti-child support song. That remember that Papers? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that definitely is a nigga who feel like he's being put who feel like he paying too much in child support. You can hear it in the music, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Tyrese. I was thinking about this when I was watching 1992. He really could be the next Liam Neeson.
In what way? He's gonna beat
If
up
he,
a black guy with a crowbar.
if he just had the right, maybe if John Singleton was still here, he would retake Tyrese under his wing and do it. But in 1992, he's really just like trying to save his son from a bunch of crooks that are trying to rob a metal plant or some shit.
That's so funny.
And Tyrese is not cracking any jokes. He's dead serious in the movie. I'm like, yo, this is Tyrese in his Liam Neeson bag. He even takes the top. The movie takes place during the LA riots, and there's a scene where Tyrese is on his way to the metal plant, and he gets out of the car, beats up like a rider to save a white couple, and the white.
Oh, that's so funny.
He saved the white couple during the LA riots.
Shout out Tyrese, man. How you felt about Taken?
Taken's alright. I mean, I don't really understand why it was such a phenomenon.
You don't get it?
I mean, it's fine. It's cool. I feel like they're like
Dad trying to save his daughter movie. Like, come on, you got to know that's gonna hit.
Yeah, it must have just like hit like a cultural fear, which I guess that's in the eternal fear, like your daughter getting abducted.
Yeah,
which is something. Even goes back to the first movie I mentioned, like where the guy is like, where it's about child trafficking.
Yeah,
like those are like these eternal fears that are like really just like they're kind of low bars for movies because it's kind of just like, oh, you immediately have an emotional reaction to it, so you don't really have to do any of the work to make somebody feel something because it's just like, oh yes, I would also be sad if my daughter got abducted.
I would say, to be fair, there is a classic line from that movie. So they did produce a classic line when he's on the line, he's like, I will find you. And I will kill you. That's a classic. So, I'm a Taken guy. I love Taken. Taken is like
Taken's cool. I'm just like, why is it so big? But
I feel it.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Yeah, jumping off for Tyrese. I might go a third New York artist in a row. I'm gonna go Xavier So Bass.
Of course.
Just one of my favorite rappers of the year. Been one of my favorite rappers the last few years. Another one whose SoundCloud I just jump around with. He put out this album earlier this year called Keep It Going, Zave, that I feel like is like a good entry point into his music for somebody that's kind of skeptical. And maybe not as weird as some of his older stuff, like Who Are You and stuff like that, like tapes from a couple of years ago, like The First Whiff. But really it's just like a really cool combination of the really like noisy, fried internet stuff that's happening, but also grounding. He's from Uptown, from the Upper West Side. He's Dominican from the Upper West Side, and yeah, hard ass album that a lot of people have been on my ass for liking all year, but hard ass album.
Once again, probably not good TV. Hey man, salute to him, man. Don't really know what else to say about that, man. Seems like a nice guy, you know what I'm saying? Every time I see, he had a really good cooking dance. I seen him. He was performing with what's the white boy name?
Netspend.
Yeah, he was performing with Netspend.
You pretend you don't know Netspend's name.
All right, because that's supposed to be fresh on the front of my frontal lobe for sure. This nigga here, man. Yeah, that nigga hit the craziest cooking dance, which salute to that. But that's all I got right there, man. You know, so out them though, man.
It was a very like loose-limbed cooking dance.
Yeah, I thought he was from the era. He young. How old is he?
Like 21, 22.
She was cooking it like he was from that era. So shout out to bruh. I guess I'll keep you got the New York train. I keep the R&B train. No worries. Shout out to those guys. They came back. I don't know what that face was you just did, but shout out to shout out to No Worries. What you got to say about No Worries?
Nah, I was surprised. No, keep going.
Okay, No Worries, man. I'm a big Anderson .Paak guy, big knowledge guy. Also, once again, I'm biased. I'm not Alphonse. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Dylan Green, guys. I'm a biased guy. I let my bias show. That nigga Knowledge watched my entire Alchemist interview on his Twitch. So salute to that nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? That was like an hour plus interview. So shout out to that nigga for doing that, you know? So, but outside of that, outside of me being biased, that is a great album. As a No Worries fan, we've been waiting for the album since I was in high school. Because that's when the last one came out when I was in high school. So I've been waiting for that for years. Them boys came back. Such a good album, man. Love that album.
Yeah, I was waiting on it for years too.
Hey, man, what you got going on, man? You ain't like that album?
It's alright.
Nah, this nigga here, man.
I'm not. Anderson .Paak kind of doesn't do it for me.
Is Anderson .Paak a rapper and a singer?
You trying to trip me up, but I consider him a singer.
He straight up has like rap songs. Like he's rapping on this album.
Yeah. I mean, and like let's say I was doing like a best rap album list, I would feel comfortable putting that on there, even though it's not really rap, but it is. Like, it has some rap songs on it, so I would put it on there.
I just want you to reconsider why you put Rod Wave so firmly in the rap category, but not other niggas. That's all. But you're sleep. That album, I love that album. The nigga, they had the nigga on the album that be cosplaying Marvin Gaye. What's that nigga name? October London. That nigga's fire.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people agree. A lot of people do love that. A lot of people love No Worries in general. So. Yeah. They don't need me to love them too.
Nah, respectable. Give your next SoundCloud artist.
Well, my last one is Doris. Well, you said you were into it, so.
I said I liked the beats. The rapping was very jarring.
Honestly, some of the Doris album reminds me of some of the Grande Mahogany stuff. Not like in it being like funk music, basically. But just like it's like vibe, the kind of like warped feeling going on in all of it. And yeah, this Doris is like a visual artist first who's under the name Frank Dory. Like he did like the cover art for like No Name Sundial and stuff like that, and just has like an Instagram page that has like a compilation of their art. And just like these really just like distorted looks at like memories in real life, and the music's kind of like that too. He put out this album earlier this year that doesn't seem to be on streaming right now, called Ultimate Love Song Collection, which is just like 50 just like blurry songs that are all about 1 minute, maybe a little bit less. All just have like a ton of samples. It's extremely just like hazy and dreamy, and has this extremely strange and distinct like vocal flair to it, of where it's sometimes the pitch is really high, sometimes it's really low. It's constantly shifting, and it sort of sounds like he's just like speaking into just like his mic in his bedroom, which I think he actually is. But yeah, just like really just like fascinating beats and a vocal style, and I feel like if you listen to it enough, I feel like certain lines just start to stick out and just like stay with you, and I feel that's what made the album just like be like the soundtrack of my ear in a way.
That was your last artist?
Yeah.
So that was supposed to be the artist that he gave me to listen to for the albums that we haven't heard. So he gave me Astra Sun, because when I was listening to it, it got taken off of streaming, and I couldn't find it anywhere. But I didn't, from what I heard, from what I remember, because I didn't really get too much time to listen to it, the beats were really interesting. The rapping was really jarring in a way that it was a little too much for me. But once again, I didn't really get to sit with it for a long time. So whenever I can get a chance to go back around and listen to it, I do want to give it another chance, because I just didn't get a lot of time to really sit with the album.
I think a lot of people respond to it like that. They're either like, this is everything to me, or this is, I just don't, like, what is going on here? And so I think both reactions are fair. But yeah, I actually have one more artist after this. But
I was gonna say I don't know if we did something wrong because I have 2 artists left.
yeah, I have one more.
Okay, so Bodie. Bodie is actually my most listened to artist this year, and I listened to a lot of Bodie. Didn't realize that until I looked at the wrap up. But yeah, Bodie put out 2 great albums that I really liked this year. The one with Nicholas Craven and the one with Conductor. I absolutely love those albums. I've been listening to that a lot. Bodie was a nigga who, when I first heard him, I thought he rapped too slow. I was like, he raps like in the like style of molasses. It's just too slow. I can't get with it. I always thought he was reading like a grocery list, and like he was like having trouble reading. Like that's how he rapped to me. Like he read like he was rapping a list out, and I just didn't like it. Boy, was I wrong. That nigga's amazing. Great rapper. Love those projects. Bodie James is my most listened to rapper of 2024.
Yeah, I mean, extremely consistent rapper. Sometimes to the point that I take him for granted. I'm like, oh, another Bodie James album. I'll get to that when I get to that. But I mean, every time I listen to him, good. He's one of the best Detroit rappers of this era.
Yeah.
And yeah, even though Nicholas Craven beats are sometimes good to me, and sometimes they just feel like really just like spare to the point that they don't feel like anything to me. But I like the ones he's done for Boldy, especially the most recent one.
Great album.
Yeah. My final pick, I almost forgot. I'll throw a Milwaukee rapper in there. One who doesn't really have like a specific tape that I feel like I've like really gotten behind, but just like the one who I'll just sit there on YouTube sometimes, just like watching his vlogs or just like watching his music videos. It'll be SME Tax Free. I think he's based in Houston now, but just like a lot of different styles. Sometimes he'll be like doing like the auto-tune acoustic thing. Sometimes he'll be doing just like a straight up like Milwaukee style shit talk posse cut. Sometimes he's just like singing about like how much he loves BBLs or whatever. But yeah, he has about like 5 or 6 mixtapes from this year. I think they're all like mixed bags, but like the shit that really works is just like songs that I play all the time. This is one tape, Ball Native Crime, that's good. As a cover, that's hilarious to me every time. He's like photoshopped in a courthouse next to Little Meech and the black detective from BMF. I'm like, what's going on here?
It's hilarious.
And then this other one's pretty good. It's kind of like this tape of posse cuts. Got My Brothers With Me. This is a joint tape he put out with Ray's Round Boss's Duck called BBL Knockers. About again, they're on the cover in lab coats. And I think that tape's hilarious. I don't think the tape is that good actually, but that tape is hilarious because they're not even like, they're less fascinated in like the BBLs as like a sexual object and more interested in it from like a doctor's perspective. Like they keep asking the girls like, they're like, yo, who is your doctor? How did he do this? Like he did good work. And is it like this real like technician?
These covers are ignorant. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah, he got Sauce Walker on that tape. He got like he says he's like really in Houston. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it makes you think differently about BBLs. Is the BBL an art form? Maybe. And so, you know.
That's hilarious. I think so. All right, Mr. SME.
As a weird place to end it, it's a BBL.
Yeah, I mean, hey, shout out to the art form.
That's my takeaway from rap this year.
That nigga Amp be saying that after I think he said after SZA got a BBL, they must have killed her surgeon because like that's like the best BBL ever. So
I mean, SME tax rate, SME tax rate would probably find the doctor.
probably so. Shout out to SME and what's the other nigga on the tape?
Raise round boss's duck.
Got you. Raise round boss's duck. That's a name right there. All right, so my last pick is not as a deep cut as all. It's not a deep cut at all. It's freaking mustard on the beat. Oh, freak, no, and free throw. It's Kendrick.
Oh, I thought you were picking DJ Mustard.
That's hilarious. DJ Mustard is not my defined my 2024, but yeah, it's Kendrick. It's Kendrick. I mean, I don't know if I really need to go into detail why, but it's Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we've all talked about Kendrick enough. It's Kendrick. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
You like GNX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
I like the song. It's like a different song. It's stuck in my head all the time, but it's now the Dodie nigga with the who the fuck I feel like Joker. Yeah. That's been stuck in my head.
You did a good like impersonation of him.
Just now. funny nigga. But yeah, that's GNX's
I saw
fire.
I saw who was it? I think it was Rob Markman. He was saying that Kendrick had the greatest year of like. He was saying that Kendrick had the greatest year of any rapper since like DMX in '98 or something. Do you agree with that?
You know, I'm more interested in talking about lost media involving Rob Markman. Rob Markman interviewed Odd Future, and part of the interview is on like YouTube. You can find it, but the full interview is not on the internet anymore. When I mean they gave that nigga hell for 40 minutes straight, like they were roasting him, and he was so uncomfortable. I think they said that nigga Tim's were like fake. They were just like, I mean, they were literally, and like it wasn't like we're roasting, they roasting, he roasting back. He trying to like get the interview. He interviewed the entire Odd Future. That's that. You ever seen that clip where they played Joey Badass music? It's that interview. And I mean, they damn near was roasting Joey Badass. Like it was a chaotic interview. And I don't know if he paid niggas to get that taken off the internet. He was like, hey, bro, I can't be out here looking crazy. But I'm interested in somebody finding that entire interview because it is the most chaotic thing. He's trying to get it together. And every time he get it together, they like laugh at his jeans or something. And he's like, come on, guys, we're trying to do an interview right now. And they just laughing at him. And it's just so funny. So that's
Is that an MTV News interview?
That was an MTV something interview for sure. It was they're all sitting on the couch. It was MTV for sure though.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So Rob Markman, I know you got that somewhere, bro. Put that out, man. After that, I'm not gonna lie. I want to interview, bro, but it I'm a first impressions ass nigga, and I just could never take Bryce serious after that. Like salute to Bryce, seems like a good dude, but every time I see him say something, I'm like, damn, that was a nigga that got roasted by left brain.
I mean, to be fair, they were roasting everybody that they came in contact with.
They were. Would you think you could handle an Odd Future interview at that time?
At that time,
right now, today, you interviewing them. Back then.
Nah, I feel like it would go pretty similarly to that. I feel like they would just be on my ass the whole time, especially in that era.
Yeah, for sure. No, that would have been fun. I like challenges.
I mean, maybe I would have had like I haven't seen his interview, so I don't know what his reaction to it was from my perspective. But I would have tried to have like some fun with it. But
it was more so, come on, guys. We trying to do an interview right now.
Yeah, but I understand. He's trying to get like what he's trying to get out of it.
He's professional. I salute professionals. Like I salute Sway. That nigga Kanye said, bro, you don't got the education. I just felt so disrespectful. Just like, you know.
People love Sway, so.
Yeah. Sway's super professional. Shout out professional. You're a professional. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I am, definitely more professional than me. Like, I'm not professional at all. Like, so shout out to professionals, man. Yeah. I see certain things, I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't react. I would react probably in the worst way. So that's why I shout out to y'all niggas who are professionals.
I mean, I don't try to be professional.
You are professional in a sense where I feel like I've never seen a video of you interviewing somebody, but you strike me as a nigga who would like, after the interview, you'd be like, this nigga, he like a professional journalist, huh? Like this nigga, like he get paid to do this. Like you got that type of, you know what I'm saying, type of aura about you. So you know what I'm saying, which is a compliment. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, man.
It could be. Or you call me like a stiff.
Nah, that's not. I'm not calling you. Let me not diss nobody. I was trying to think of a stiff ass interview. I can't think of a stiff ass interviewer, but you're not Zane Lowe. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So.
what I thought you were gonna say.
You're not Zane Lowe, man. But all right. Well, we'll end it with this. Excluding yourself, who is your favorite hip hop journalist of the year?
Favorite hip hop.
Somebody who every time you checked out on him, you was like, bruh, or she snapping.
Damn, it's hard to think. Wait, you go first. I feel like you got one.
I don't watch a lot of. I'm not gonna lie. I don't read or watch a lot of stuff. I don't read a lot of stuff. I watch more interviews than I do, and like I don't know if any of them niggas would be considered journalists. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if I would actually have one, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, would you be? I guess you'd be the default. 'Cause I don't read too many people's stuff, and it's nothing against y'all. It's just I don't be reading like journalist stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one. I mean, there's so few people that just like are consistently like have the opportunity to just write whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? And that are just like in this like weekly grind with it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick one person. Damn. When's the last time you read something that you were like, you fuck with this heavy?
I sent it to No Name. I would have to go back and look real quick. That's like my point of reference. I remember reading something and I don't remember what it was about, but I remember telling her like, this is like really fire. Opinion. This is last year. Hip hop in America are changing and not for the better. It was written by, what's my man name? Kevin Powell for the Politico magazine.
Yeah.
Familiar with that one? Did you read that one?
Yeah, I did read that one. Kevin Powell. He was like an original cast member of like The Real World in like the 90s.
I did research on Brent. I found that out. Yeah, but I remember finding that slightly interesting. That was pretty interesting one to me.
And
he was damn near his Ka intro.
That's him like thinking about like where's hip hop at right now.
Yeah.
Also, he's probably like 50, right?
I mean, he was on The Real World, so he has to be. But that was the last thing I read, to be honest, because I don't really read too much of like hip hop stuff. To be honest with you.
Why not?
Bro, I read too much in school, bro. Like, I don't be having time to, like, I'd rather sit there and watch something. Like, it's more easily digestible. And I know y'all probably hate that, but, like, just me watching something, it's just more easily digestible than me sitting there reading stuff. Bro, I be reading 20-page journalistic articles and stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Let me watch something.
But when you watch something, it takes way more time than to read it.
It does, but I'm a visual learner at the end of the day. So I like visuals. I like to see stuff. I like to see how the nigga react. I like to see how you ask the question. I like to see how you answer the question. I like watching stuff. Like I've always been you know what I'm saying? I like to see some visuals attached to my stuff.
Yeah. I've always been, I just feel like there's so much in writing you can communicate that you can't when you're talking. When you're talking, it's just so much more meandering.
I feel like that's true for certain people because when I was doing a lot of writing, I felt that I could communicate better. Like when I interviewed Hot Boy, and like I'm gonna ask him, can I put this interview out? Because they didn't let me there was the only interview they never let me put out on my channel. The Hot Boy interview is so much entertaining. I feel like watching it than reading it because you could just see like two Florida niggas interacting with each other, and like it's just little stuff that you can't see within writing. You know what I'm saying? Just little subtleties and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I like that for me specifically. I like to be able.
You don't think it would come out in the answers?
People like that article. people were like, "Oh, it's cool," but like I think it's much better for me specifically. For other people, they may be better writing. Cause I know you told me for forever, like you not a nigga that want to be on camera like that for the most part. Like you enjoy writing, like you get your stuff off better writing. I feel like I get mine off, like, cause honestly, a lot of stuff I do is like in comedic type of stuff, and like you can write stuff that's funny, but would you rather see like Dave Chappelle like write a stand up or like perform a stand up? Not that I'm doing damn stand up, but I'm just saying like a lot of my stuff I feel like is in you like you have to see me say it.
I mean, Dave Chappelle's a bad example because these days his stand-ups are the most meandering bullshit ever.
Oh my gosh, all right, bro. I was just using the nigga as an example. God, dog. Rather if you like the nigga stand up or not, you know what I'm saying. So
You're like 3 hours in, and I'm still like, I'm still on your ass 3 hours in.
But no, I just feel like with me, even like certain like I'm a nigga that like to hear inflections. Like what you said earlier. You like the way niggas be saying stuff, and you know what I'm saying? I like to hear that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like even with me, I talk with like an inflection or somebody I've been interviewing. They may do an inflection. It's like that's important, and you need to hear that rather than read it. For me specifically,
I feel like if the writing is decent, you could get that inflection in the writing.
see, but that's y'all. You feel me? That's y'all art. That's not my art. That's y'all art. My art is not in that writing. I fancy myself a good academic writer. I don't know if that translates to professional journalism. And that's why that's y'all art. That's why I feel like y'all need to keep doing that. For me, that's not me. Like I would never tell a nigga not to do it if that's his passion. Cause that he may be fired that compared to doing video stuff. I feel like I'm way better at video stuff than writing stuff. Just me personally. What, nigga? You got something smart to say? I see the look in your eyes. What, nigga? I was like, how can you disagree with me? Like, I do it better that way. I'm not saying you better that way. You say you better at the writing. I'm not better at the writing. I'm better at talking, you know what I'm saying, in a visual sense. Like, nigga, that Kevin Gates interview I did, 5 minutes. I feel like that's so much better in a YouTube format than it would be in me writing for Pitchfork or Complex or whatever. I feel like it just wouldn't come off as endearing as it did.
Yeah. I mean, there are things in video that you could do that you can't do in writing. Like in video, you could just like drop people in. Like if you wrote that interview, you'd have to do like a whole like intro, do like Kevin Gates is from like.
yeah, that is another thing you have to do as well.
But that's part of the things that's part of the stuff that makes writing hard is trying to figure out how to make that stuff interesting, like all that contextualizing. And how do you do that and still have your voice and still like make people that already know all this stuff want to keep reading too?
That's why I will never disrespect writing. I will always salute y'all niggas. Just me personally, I feel like I get my point across better in video format. So that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, you're good at video. I watch your interviews all the time, and you're the only person I come out on the video format for, so.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm the smallest nigga too, so it's all about the person. You feel me? And I'm putting y'all at the spotlight. So, hey, any last words you got for the people watching, man? The floor is yours. We've been doing this all day. This is hilarious.
Nah, yeah, we were really on here mad long. I mean, don't fall into Eric's trap of hip hop is over. Playboy Cardi has ruined the genre. GNX will save us.
Hilarious. That's all you got. That's what you're gonna do it.
That's all I got.
Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know in a little secret. This nigga Alphonse thinks I'm like Charleston White 2.0, like off the camera. And if he ever says that in any other platform, he's lying. I'm not. So just want to let y'all know that before, you know what I'm saying? I'm a good guy. Ain't that right?
Eric the Young Rogan.
Eric the Young Rogan. Nigga think I'm Alex Jones. wait. Let me end it with this. When have I ever became a conspiracy nigga? Where did that come from? You be like, I'll be tapped in with a conspiracy theory. When have I ever shown you a conspiracy theory?
I don't know. Maybe that's my New York elitism.
That's exactly what it is. Now, do I like a good conspiracy theory? I do, but that's not doing anything. But I do like conspiracy theory. The New Jersey drones, you know. You think do you think it's something going on? Think something fishy, or what do you think?
Probably everything is fishy right now. Mm-hmm. It's not. I tell you, man. I believe it. I believe nothing surprises me right now.
All right. This is so funny. The whole time, this is like Alphonse projecting. This nigga Alphonse. Watch he like secretly be like anti-vax or something, and he just projecting onto me. So, nigga, whole time, nigga didn't get the vaccine. Nigga put it on me. But all right, for everybody watching, I don't have any last words. This is if you watch this entire thing. What's a word they could type in to show us? Like what's something they should type to show us they watch the entire thing? Give me a random word.
Alex Jones.
Google. I mean not Google. Type in Alex Jones if you watch this entire thing. I appreciate you guys. That's such a funny thing to type. And yeah, we're out. I love you guys. Goodbye.